Oh, hello there, everyone. This is gonna be a bit of an odd one because, oh yeah, don't mind me just opening up a million things. This is gonna be a bit of an odd one because, yeah, I am streaming to both, YouTube and, Twitch. You can, in fact, see both chats on screen. It is gonna be quite the experience here doing that to both. Um, Also, how is this audio? I feel like the music is a bit too loud. Okay. I said too loud, not mute. Okay. We are going to be doing some crazy stuff here. You see us on YouTube. I see you on everything. I see all things. I just get bouncing back and forth between YouTube and Twitch. So let me know if there's anything funky going on. Today we are going to do a few things, because it has been a heck of a time with the TCG this year. Like, we're going to rank everything. Character cards. I made a TCG all the way up to 5.3 even. You can see, well, kind of, because they're oddly cropped. Cloran and Mualani are here on the list. I don't know why they're cropped like this. I definitely said to not crop them, but, you know. Well, that's gonna be weird. Are you sure this is the right list? Because I know I said not to crop them. Okay, they're loading. There you go. This took a minute, sorry. There, now we can actually see the characters. This is great. Off with their heads. Yeah, exactly like that. It's 8:06 p.m. where you're at. Oh, we're in the same time zone then, for the most part, then, Andy. Good old Eastern Rosaria S tier. Don't you dare. Yeah, Mualani is here too. Yeah, so we're gonna look at the character cards. We have all of the action cards. This was such a struggle to upload because when I did, it just crashed the entire site when I tried to put all of them in here. And there's also a teensy problem. They aren't in alphabetical order. And I'm going to be real with you. Like, I can't tell you. I don't know whose skill card this is. No idea. The way I'm going to have to figure it out. Inspect element. Find the name. Wishes. Blah, 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 blah. Go here. And then do it that way. This is going to be a little scuffed when it comes to the action cards. Unless you guys just know which ones are which and can tell me. Because I'm going to be real. I don't remember all of them. Some of them I recognize. Kokomis. Doesn't mean I remember what it does, though. So, you know. Just keep that in mind. I didn't tell you every talent card. That's Raiden. This one is. Okay. Oh, yeah, it does have Raiden's thing there. And there's Ganyu's. I don't know who that one is. That's Singcho's. Is that Ayato's? I think so. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this was a lot to do. And then we're also just going to look at my 13 videos on TCG this year. Clearly did so much. Whatever. Because this year of TCG has, that's Candace's, whatever. This year of TCG has been a bit rough, in my opinion. I still feel like this music is really loud. Am I, like, losing my mind? The TCG to me has been going through a bit of a tumultuous phase this year, where it just felt really difficult for Hoyo to balance things. Like, this is when we got, we got Gilded, I think, which was like, whoa, what? We got Jet. Remember early Jet and how busted that was? Remember Yunjin and how they had to nerf her into the ground, same as Jet? Like, we got things like Apep, which is not exactly the most balanced thing in the world. Not as bad as Yunjin was by any means, but still, even Rosaria, which is definitely like, what? Like, the balance and broken to not broken has very much, it's been a bit rough for the TCG, so we're gonna rate some things and, have a good time with that. So let's jump into it. Again, we're going to start with the character cards, go into all of the action cards. That's going to be a hot minute. And then eventually my own decks that I made this year and talk about how they've evolved and not so much and so on and so forth. And then maybe talk about some other stuff like, favorite games of this year and things like that and good stuff. So anyways, let's move into it and start with our first card that we have, which is Abyss Herald. One of my absolute favorite cards, actually, of this year, and just in general, one of my favorite cards. Like, legitimately, I think this is an S tier card. Like, actually, one of the stronger cards, the best Abyss card that we have, truthfully. I would argue one of the best monster cards that we have. Kind of up there, tied with Apep, probably, in terms of just monster cards, but I would say much more versatile than Apep. Can fit into stall decks, can fit into aggro decks, can tax. It's just a very versatile, very strong card, but doesn't inherently feel busted like some of the others because it has a fairly high skill ceiling to be able to use him correctly. So I really do think this is like top tier card. And I am looking forward to when we get a Cryo Abyss Herald, so then I can just make everybody's life miserable with freeze decks again, because I love doing that. Is this by Synergy, Strength, and no bias? It's a tier list. How do you have no bias? Like, what? It's gonna be biased based on whoever's ranking things. Like, I'm ranking this based off of my own standard, whatever that standard is. I don't care what other people say or what people think about it. This is me. Look, last time we were here last year, I put Barbara in S tier and Raiden in C and pissed off everyone to the point that I got one of my favorite. Hold on, let me here, stare at this for a moment. I'm gonna bring up one of my favorite comments I've ever gotten in my entire life. Is this one, and it was off of the last time I streamed this particular rankings. You don't like Raiden. I don't like you. I think I disliked every video of yours. This is what I live for. This is what I'm going for. Like, if this happens again, I feel like that's a win. Okay? Like, that to me is a win and then something. Hello, Keyrank. Welcome to the Twitch here. So, yeah, that's my criteria. Okay? Barbara is very strong when played correctly, and Ryan's gameplay is very easy to see through. Yeah, that and that's that was the logic behind it. I was like, Barbara is a high skill ceiling character. If you know how to play her right, she is a nuisance. If you don't, she's self-sabotage. Raiden, I think Raiden, I think I can justify where I put Raiden this year. I think she fell off a lot. Speaking of falling off, Pyro Abyss Herald. I want to like this character, but man, anything like if I'm being stupidly merciful, this is C. If I'm stupidly merciful, this is D rank. Like, this character, even his skill card, I think they reworked his skill card, and he still sucks. He's still bad. Like, this thing is actually just ridiculously bad. It is awful. He deserves his own tier list. Yeah, he deserves Pyro Abyss Lecter rank. Least toxic Raiden simp. I mean, yeah, I guess that guy was. Electro Abyss Herald, right? Or Lecter, rather. He can be strong, but I honestly feel like he's just kind of a bit clunky, and I don't know if Electro is in the greatest spot, honestly. I'm kind of torn between C if I'm being really harsh and B if I'm being merciful. Like, he's better than this. He has an ability to offer attacks. He can do pretty good damage if you can keep the opponent without having a lot of energy, which is there's not a lot of ways of doing that, so it is risky. But he really just doesn't go above this rank in my opinion, unless there's, like, some very niche decks that can fully utilize him. I don't think he's getting very high. He's pretty low, honestly, in my opinion. Um, I he's like D plus, C minus kind of low. He can be good, but it's gonna take a deck around him. Um, Albedo's an interesting one because he is so if you were to he falls into a couple of things. You could theoretically pair him with Navia. I don't think people do. I think Albedo usually ends up paired with Venti and Xiao, and I think that deck is strong, a solid deck. I would say with that buff and the changes that he's gotten, he's B, maybe if specifically with Xiao and Venti, low A. I would put him in because he does play a pretty good role with it. But I would say, generally speaking, B. You've never seen an Albedo before, funnily enough. Really? He's good against decks that are heavy on burst. Yeah, he is. Yeah, the Electro hair, Lecter. But I think Albedo is probably B just because of that one deck. You take him out of that deck, theoretically, you could place him again with Navia. I've seen some Navias with him, but I don't think they work very well. Typically speaking, I think Chiori kind of just takes the cake with Navia. Or Zhongli, even if you're gonna go Navia, or just some other really stupid stuff because Navia. We'll get the Navia. I don't like her. But yeah, he's kind of B rank in my opinion. Albedo was popular back then. Also, he has a bug tied to Sinyun Burst. Not sure if you know about. No, because I don't. I honestly, I don't know where Sinyun is. Oh, she's down here. I have run into people using her maybe once or twice. Like I honestly, I almost can't rank her because I just have so little experience with her when we get to her because I just don't think she's that great. But who knows? Al Aetham. Al Aetham is tricky. Sinyun is S tier. I haven't seen her used for a whole lot, to be honest. But that's just me. Al Aetham is a tricky one because he used to be really good, and he used to have some OTK decks with him that were pretty good. I don't really think he's all that great. With Kuki and Herald. Yeah, I could see it with Kuki. And I think I think I have seen it in that deck before, something similar. But maybe it was Mona, maybe it was a Herald, I don't remember. Hatham, I think, is probably like another B. Maybe if we're talking specifically OTK, he has the chance to push A. But I think there are better OTK combos than Hatham. I think he's not bad, but he's like B. I'm kind of debating between these two. I'm gonna put him at solid B. Whale is a thing. Whale used to be good, but how the mighty have fallen, right? Like, Whale is basically... I don't want to say he's obsolete, but man, like, if you're going to play a discard deck, you're playing APEP. And you're playing APEP with the Consecrated Beasts, one of them. It's APEP, Sinyan, Consecrated Beast. Usually, I mean, I've seen this one more often than the Electro, but I've seen both of them in there. I've seen APEP, Sinyan, Whale, where Whale just does nothing. Like, the dude literally does nothing the entire match. I think there's one of them even in a video that I had of mine where we went up against an APEP deck like that. I don't think Whale is in a good spot. Whale got absolutely butchered and honestly deserved. I think Whale is like low C. He ain't this, but he ain't good. Whale does nothing and acts as a meat shield. Yeah, Whale is just not that good. Honestly, Whale could arguably be put in D rank now too. I think there's a case for maybe putting him D. because he's just really not that strong anymore. And honestly, again, good. You made a deck that uses Apep Candace Cave? A Cave Apep deck? Interesting. With Candace, too. That's weird. Amber. Man, has Amber ever been good? Also, can you guys hear the music? I feel like the music is now abysmally quiet. Bro, Hoyo, can you, like, balance your music at all? Thanks. Amber has never been amazing. I keep right-clicking. Amber's never really been amazing, but I don't also think that she's terrible. Like, I don't even know if I'd consider her D rank. I just consider her really, really low C. She's, yeah. B tier? I don't know if I'd consider her B tier either. Like, what decks want her? What does she do other than provide shield that other pyros can't do? Like, Amber's C? Yeah, I'm putting her C. You guys say A or B? I'm thinking C. I just can't think of... Now this music is too loud. Oh, yo, what the hell? Bro. I'm gonna, like, snap on playing audio DJ. Amber was A or B back then. Back when? Like, I don't even know a deck that ran Amber. Speaking of A and B, remember Ito back in the horrible days of freaking Ito decks? This dude now, like, Navia exists. Shiori exists. What you doing, Ito? Like, where you at? Like, I think Ito could still technically be paired with Navia. Honestly. I think you could do it. Run, like, Mona, Ito, Navia. Min. Yeah, M-I-N. Min. I think you could pull something like that off to build Navia stacks with, Ushi and whatnot, and then just kind of have Ito be a bit of a threat on his own. But I think Ito is dropped. He's, like, high C, low B. One or the other. I don't know if I'd consider... He's still good if you can run him in good decks. I don't really think he's that good. At least not anymore, and that's, again, good because, God, was it annoying to just constantly run into him. Ito is worse than Noel now? Dang. Yeah, Ito used to be top tier. Ito was SSS tier indeed. Amber was SS during Jet era. So was everyone else. Yeah, anyone with freaking a 2 energy cost burst was SS during Jet era. Which glad that garbage got nerfed. Speaking of used to be pretty good, I'm sorry, I used to think Ajdaha was really good during Gilded era, where you could run Gilded very easily into his skill card, like, and run just mixed, groups and stuff. He was good. And it's not so much that he's bad anymore, it's just that there really aren't decks that want him. Like, I can't think of a deck that really wants Ajdaha right now that would be a high tier deck. Like, I think he's a good, like, B, maybe like here, but I don't think he goes past B into A. I just don't think he's versatile. I mean, he's versatile, but I just can't think of anything that he's gonna do which would be good. You've seen him a lot with Bennett and Nuvi. Interesting. Ajdaha did fall off the Gilded nerf, but he's still high A. I don't know. I think B is probably where I would put him. I think he is still very good, and maybe I need to mess around with him some more. But I'm going to put him in, like, B. Honestly, if I'm going to organize this, I think I'm going to put him, like, there in B. I feel like I could think of more value with Ajdaha than Al-Haytham and Ito at this point. Albedo, again, has that one Xiao deck that's really good. If you can get the combo off with it, it's basically just insta. And that's why he's where he is, but without that deck, he kind of falls to me. Baiju. I like Baiju. I'm gonna be honest. I like him. I think he's a good Dendro support. His shield can be very annoying. His skill card, while costly, is really good, has really good value to it. His summon is, again, it doesn't last long, but it's nice. You know, he's not bad. I kind of feel like he's a BA area. It's just like, you know, where do you really draw that line? I'm gonna put him B to A. He's like B to A to me. He can fit into a lot of things, and I definitely think that's good. Baiju is lower than Yao Yao now? Really? The hell does Yao Yao do? The cards around Ajdaha got nerfed, so naturally he's much worse now. Well, yeah, because he worked a lot into Gildan and Nanatsuki Yayoi. Or Yayoi Nanatsuki, rather. Barbara. Get tilted. Enough said. I still stand by the fact that Barbara is good. Is she as good as she was when characters like Farina exist? No, I think Farina would... Interestingly enough, I don't know if I'd put Farina in S tier. Actually, I feel like Farina and they could fight for it. I feel like both of them maybe are like A tier, but still, I am bro skipped like 2 seasons of TCG. Maybe I did, dude. You have to realize, like, I made my decks and then I just didn't give a crap. Like, honestly, I didn't. I don't care about meta. I ran into meta decks. I played against them. I'm sure I stopped caring. Honestly, I just started making things that I'm like, look, who cares about meta and all of that garbage? Like, nobody watching my crap is sitting there going to Hoyo's Magic tournaments or whatever. Like, I'm just going to make decks that I think are cool and novel and not the stuff that you usually see. And that's what I wanted to focus my stuff on. So I didn't care about meta. I still think Barbara is really good, though, and I will defend that Barbara. If you know how to play Barbara, she's annoying. And she's pretty good. You can use her for a lot of stuff. I really want to try to, like, mess around with her and, like, Bond of Life stuff, but Bond of Life just feels so half-built. Beto. Beto is, like, not bad with him. But I still think just, like, on her own, she's, like, C tier. She's not bad, but I don't know about it. I think C tier. Meta this, meta that. Have you ever met a girl before? Yeah, exactly, Shogun. Yeah, we have. It's called Beto. No, Farina is like miles better. From Barbara, yeah, Farina has more value, but I don't know. I feel like Farina is an interesting one too. We'll get to Farina when we get there. I like Farina. Worries for Glory's last 3 patches was his worrisome for the life of the TCG. Yeah, because I mentioned, guys, I called this ages ago. Hoyo is stepping off of TCG. The TCG is a sinking ship. I called this ages ago, and I'm still gonna stand by it. In fact, I don't want to argue that Genshin is Hoyo's kind of moved from that into Star Rail ZZZ, which would make sense. I've been going with Genshin for 4 years. Like, I'm sure the team's kind of tired of it. But still, I don't know. I've said that the TCG is a bit of a sinking ship. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy it occasionally, but man, they know how to make me very upset with their updates. Bennett. And Happy New Year's, guys. Happy New Year's, Shadow. They've recently done a balance change. It started to fall off when they skipped on the balance change one patch. Chief, I feel like they skipped on balance changes a lot of patches. Also, didn't somebody earlier say Herald was getting a nerf? If they nerf Herald, why? Bennett is A or B. I would probably argue A, especially with Rosaria existing now. I think Rosaria, Bennett, Sino is actually a pretty strong deck, though usually it's just, I think, Rosaria, Thunder Manifestation, Eula. Maybe Shenhe over Eula, but usually Eula because she can run Wolf's Gravestone. So Rosaria, Thunder Manifestation, Eula is a cracked out aggro deck. Bennett, though, with Rosaria, Bennett, Sino is also a really strong busted setup too. So I think with Rosaria especially, A. Herald's skill damage is 1 run rather than 2-1. Kuki's talent got nerfed to 4 cost? When did this happen? Wasn't it always 4 cost? No, when was Kuki's talent not 4 cost? I thought it was always 4 cost. I thought her talent was always 4 cost because of the res thing it does. Rosaria nerfed and Herald nerfed and Kookie's talent nerfed in today's update. Oh, Rosaria nerfed. Well, I'll be damned. They nerfed the most busted freaking card of last update. It's almost like everyone and their mother, myself included, called that. Her talent was 3? I feel like I'm having a Mandela effect or living in an alternate universe. I always thought Kookie's talent card, because it reses her, I always thought it was 4. Yeah, 100% Mandela effect. Like, I'm actually going crazy. I always thought it was 4. Anyways, Candace. I like Candace. She's not bad, but she's kind of Beto tier. I kind of put her a little above Beto. I think because she's Hydro, I think she's a little more versatile. But I'd put her C, maybe B. Candice, don't you dare. They only change how many stacks she gets, but Rosaria still doubles the damage. That is absolute BS. Like, they lock you in a room, a rubber shush egg. I still hate Rosaria. I think Rosaria just is so dumb, and Hoyo needs to learn order of operations. Charlotte. I really like Charlotte. But, and Charlotte can be good. Charlotte can be good with Nouvelette, I'm pretty sure. I'd never really made a Nouvelette deck because Nouvelette. And I just didn't really have the time to work with him. If I right click again, I swear I'm gonna remove my middle finger. But like Charlotte, I would argue Charlotte is like low A. I think she can be very strong, but she's very skill card dependent in my opinion. I think if you want really maximum value from her, her skill card is pretty critical. Unless you're just using her for burst application and stuff like that, then in which case, by all means. But I don't know. I really think Charlotte is a very strong character and will, especially with like Bond of Life stuff, more and more of it coming out with Squeegee, and then I'm assuming Cloran is going to have Bond of Life because she does in the actual game. I feel like Charlotte's not a bad contender here. Charlotte is good. Yeah, I've always liked Charlotte. She can just destroy you in one of your games with that 10%. Oh, yeah, freaking Rosaria. Rosaria is... I hate Rosaria. Chevy. I don't even... What is her actual name? Is it Chevrus or something? What is her actual name? I legitimately don't know this character's name. I've always just called her Chev. Chevrus. Okay, so I wasn't totally off there. I feel like don't you have to have her in just decks of Electro Pyro? I feel like that's very limiting. I don't think she's great, but I don't think she's terrible either. There were definitely Chev decks with like Lenny Fischl that were pretty common, or Lenny and Electro Scorpion that were pretty common. So like I think she's like BC. If anything, I'm due to like, I think the issue for me that's putting her closer to C is versatility. Because these guys, for the most part, have some amount of versatility. Maybe Albedo, again, is here because he has one deck that would, honestly, if we're looking at the deck itself, it would be like A to S. But he himself is kind of eh. He's not terrible, if I guess maybe Lisa, but but Chev just doesn't have that level of versatility that the rest of them up here have. Even Ito has some versatility with like Navia and Shiori decks. Chev, I feel like you pretty much are just going to run her with either like Fischl and Scorpion or Lenny. I feel like those are pretty common. I know I did one where I think I ran... Did I run Raiden and Lenny, or Raiden and somebody? Or was it Fischl? I think I could have done Raiden. I remember making a Chev deck, and I don't even remember what I put in it, which tells you how much I cared about her. Yeah, I'd put her like C-ish. I don't think she's great. You don't play her that much, so burst is non-existent most of the times? Huh. Hey, Phoenix, Happy New Year. Again, Happy New Year to everyone here. You want to see Chev, Electro Scorpion, Chlorine deck? I don't know what chlorine does. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to have to add a row below. And that row below is just going to be, yeah, new, honestly. Not out yet. Because that's where chlorine and Mualani are going to go. I don't even, has Hoyo even told us what they do? Because I feel like I don't want to rank them without using them yet. And they technically aren't out until tomorrow. Just saying. At least for me. Quackosaurus technique might open some new decks. So, one card where you're going to have to depend on. That's cool. Gotta love that, don't you? Oh, yeah, I have to freaking make a thumbnail for tomorrow's stream where I actually look at these cards tomorrow. I forgot to do that because I'm busy with so many things. Chiori. A to S? Like, I would argue S tier pretty convincingly. Like, her skill card, the amount of damage she can do, like, end phase is just, and her burst is still good. Like, yeah, A to S. Like, Claran is like side grade Electro Risley. Oh, that sounds like a thing. They posted official skill set on Hoyo Lab and maybe Twitter. I haven't seen it yet, but admittedly, I haven't been looking for it. I've been really busy today. You feel Chiori is B tier, but S tier with talent. I could see that argument. Go into sleep. Don't worry, Egg. We're gonna be here for a while. Chungus. What decks want Chungus? I honestly, I feel like he's C tier because, like, I don't know anything that wants him. Honestly, I just really don't. Like, I don't feel like I can think of any deck that would want him outside of Shenhe Superconduct, and that typically runs Eula. And who in the year of our Lord 2024 into 2025 is playing Shenhe Superconduct? Like, what? Who is doing that? I don't know anyone. S tier for Chung Yun. Oh, okay. Okay. The Raiden Shenhe Superconduct. Yeah, that was old. Yeah, exactly. Who is running that anymore? No one. He used to have a deck with Singcho and Razor 5 years ago. There is a deck with Razor that exists, doesn't there? Isn't it like Candace Razor or something like that? Like Raiden Candace Razor, but like nobody runs that anymore either, right? Kale. I'm gonna say solid B. She's a good aggro Dendro. I still think she's good. Obviously, in the year of Nahida, Kale is a little on the lesser side, but she can do some good damage, especially with her skill card. And she's a candidate for the one bow that lowers skill card costs by quite a bit. Kale is not bad for aggro decks that require Dendro. I don't believe she's that bad at all. Kale is good, but there's Nahida. Yeah, exactly. There's Nahida, and that is an issue, of course. But Kale, I still think, is a solid aggro Dendro character and more versatile than Alhaitham for sure. Also, she gets destroyed by Send-Off. Yeah, but how many people are running Send-Off? I mean, not to say... I feel like Controlled Detonation probably gets run more, and if you're looking out for, like, APEP or even Chiori decks to a certain degree, though I guess Send-Off can mess with Chiori's, like, Closed Eyeball. Consecrated Beasts. Probably both of these. I'm just going to mess with both of them simultaneously. They both play into APEP, and APEP is very strong. So I'm still putting them up here, probably A, maybe B outside of APEP. I'd say A or B, maybe. It really just kind of depends. Like, versatility-wise, I think there's an argument for B. Because outside of APEP and maybe Chev, I can't think of many decks where you would want to use them. They're mostly discard decks. So I think there's an argument for B and not pushing them into A because they are just lacking the amount of versatility needed to get there. But they are good. They're not bad. Sino. Next patch, everyone is running send off for sure. Oh no, what's going on next patch? I don't want to know. Kale would be so good if they changed the town to 3 cost. The initial +1 dice cost is rough. And Sino, your goat is SS tier undoubtedly. I don't know about that. I think he's a good B or C. The thing is, you throw him in with like Rosaria, and he's probably A. B or A. Did I say B or C? What is wrong with me? B or A? I think Sino is still a very good reverse sweeper. And if you can play reverse sweep OTK, I'm going to put him A. If you're not playing that, maybe. His music's not half bad. It's like the first good Natlan song. I'm going to say he's a good solid A. Maybe. I'm going to put him at A. I think he's a solid A. Sino's been very good, but not S. A is okay. I'd put him at A. I think he's a solid A. Dea's kind of taken the place of Xiang Ling in terms of pyro summons. I feel like we've gone into the age of Dea. And even remember freaking when Dea came out and Ito was still Ito, and people were running Ito, Dea, and Noel. Like, I think Dea needs to get in. I think Dea could be argued as B. I think she has her use for her summons, for the defense utility of her summon. But her burst can be useful too, I think, maybe. I mean, because it swings twice, it's a little wonky, but like, again, think about it for Rosaria or something. There's some possibilities there. I think I would put Dea at B. D-Luke. People play this card? Sino is A, Dea is B. Interesting. I don't know any deck that plays D-Luke, honestly. Like, I don't know if I want to say he's D tier, but he's kind of D tier. Like, bro is struggling for his life. He's out of the TCG. Like, this dude has been phased out. Diona. Low C. I think Diona isn't terrible, but low C. I use D-Luke when you cosplay as a noob in Q and you manage to cheese wins. Wow. D for Diona, really? I don't know. I like Diona's stall. That's not to say you can't easily break through with cards like Wolf and Rosaria again and things like that. But I don't know. Putting Diona in D, I feel like she is more versatile and more usable than D-Luke. I feel like D really is just kind of a lower rank here. Similarly, Dory, right? I think Dory has some value as well. I'd put her maybe upwards in C as well. I don't know if I'd necessarily put her in B, because I'm trying to think of what decks run Dory. I've seen Dory Wanderer Kenki before. Like, I've seen that deck before ages ago. I don't know if that deck is still around or if it was even really that amazing. I think it was all right. I think it was pretty popular too. But I don't know about Dory here. Dory Farina Nahida or Dory Wanderer Kenki. Yeah. Like, Dory is definitely, does both healing and energy. Yeah, there's also Dory, which is pretty decent. Yeah, I'm going to put Dory, right now, I'm going to put her at C just because I haven't really experienced those decks too much. And I don't know if she fits in anything outside of that. I'm going to say C, arguably low B. The Valen. Remember when I made the Yunjin deck that was Yunjin, Dvalin, Kenki, and you could just win round 2 and your opponent could suck their thumbs and cry about it because there was nothing you could do because Yunjin was so busted, and Yunjin plus Animo Resonance made it faster than every other Yunjin deck? Yeah, I remember that. That was some BS. Glad they nerfed Yunjin, thank Christ. But other than that, Dvalin is not that great. He's C to D, potentially. I don't want to necessarily say D, but, like, what deck wants Dvalin? Like, I actually don't know a deck right now that would want Dvalin. At least not a super good one by any means. Dvalin is awkward. Yeah, he kind of is. Electrohypostasis. I like the cubes. You guys know I'm a bit biased towards cubes. Both the cubes are good. C or B for cubes? I don't know. I don't know if I would put them higher than that because I don't know where. What does Electrocube want? There was a deck with Bennett Lynette that also showed up and did well for a bit and then disappeared. Really? With what? Electrocube is high B? I think the cube is good. He's good for stall, which is... Here's the thing. Here's my idea, right? Why I would put Electrocube in B rank. Rosaria one-shot decks. He can break Rosaria one-shot deck combos for OTKs. So, again, Rosaria, Thunder Manifestation, Eula, excuse you, get back in your location. He can break that. Similarly to Hydro Herald and Cryo Cube, and honestly all of the others, that ain't raising you above D tier. Sorry, you're staying in D. But he can do it. He can 100% do that. With Bennett, Cube is S tier, really? Bennett that good? Okay, we finished one set of music. Now we get more music. Black Shore's music. Yeah, that's one benefit, but at the same time, the mechanic got countered by Nahida Seed. Yeah, but... Okay, who's running Nahida with Rosaria? Like, if you're up against Hee, you know what you gotta do, and you're not gonna see Hee Rosaria. At least I haven't. Then again, with Hee's stupid freaking burst, maybe you do. I don't know. Turn Hee into a freaking DPS. But I think this thing's biggest setup here, biggest goal, is to deal with Rosaria one-shot. I think a lot of these revive cards, that's kind of where you're putting them. Again, every card's got a bit of a counter, but yeah. Like, even now, we can talk about Crab, right? You could have the strongest shielded Crab deck in the world. I don't know where it is. Wolf comes out, cry. Because that Crab is dead. Wolf is gonna nuke that thing. So, you know, it just kind of depends here. Similarly, so too would Hee. Let's talk about Crab, right? Crab, in my opinion, Crab has always been a bit eh. I know there are some people who swear by the Crab. Toma, Layla Crab, Hydro Herald, was it Hydro Herald Layla Crab as well? I think it was. I have never been a huge fan of Crab, honestly. I think Crab... The decks are annoying, but I don't think... you know what you're getting into. You run into a Crab deck, you know what you're getting into. It's very annoying and folds many decks if it draws early tenacity. Maybe. Again, I feel like Wolf just stomps it. I would put Crab maybe low C. I don't think he's as useless as these. But again, if you don't draw your equipment, Crab is dead in the water. Just like completely just gone. The Eremites. I think Pyro Eremite goes higher than Dendro. Dendro Eremite... Where would I put you? This is a hard one because Dendro does a lot of the burst. I'm trying to remember what all Dendro does with its technique card. It just shoots off Dendro, and then I think if you have the skill card and you swap to the person with the technique, it shoots off Dendro on swap or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. I haven't used this one in a while. Crab feels slow and stalling is kind of boring. Yeah, Crab decks are a bit of a slog. 14 HP every round, but just auto loses the wolf. Yeah. Eremite's kind of C. This one maybe. I would put this one maybe a low B. I'm gonna say low B, maybe above Ito. I think Pyro Eremite has the potential. If you get the skill card, Pyro Eremite can just outright nuke. I would put Pyro Eremite maybe high B. Honestly, maybe not necessarily above Cube, but I would put high B Eremite potentially into A, because I do think she could be pretty threatening in certain decks. But yeah, I'd say B. You love Pyro Eremite with Crab. A nuke of 10 plus stacks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you put that onto Crab, that'd be annoying. Eula. I think Eula is still A rank. She's Wolf Gravestone candidate. She's still very strong. Rosaria exists, so now you can run Cryo Res, which is generally all you need for Rosaria one-shot decks to function. You don't need Pyro Res or anything like that. Heck, half the time you don't even need Cryo Res. That's just the extra boost. She's a solid A to S, honestly. I think Eula has been strong for a very long time. Eula is just stupid. I agree with Rosaria. She's, again, Eula, Rosaria, Thunder Manifestation. Welcome to a solved game. It's so stupidly busted. Use Dendro Eremite with Sino to ramp up and reverse sweep. She's pretty solid in that regard. Huh. I haven't used her in a while. Farazan, speaking of not being used in a while, remember when double Animo Fatui was a thing with Lenny, Lynette, Farazan? I had a version of this that ran Lenny, Lynette, Child and absolutely stomped the Farazan version a couple of times, actually. And then I just never got around to finishing editing the video before the new update came out, and that was really annoying. But that used to be a really good video, or a really good deck. I just never got around. I have the files somewhere around here. I just never finished it. But Farazan, meh. Farazan is easy S. What decks are running Farazan? I would put her maybe B rank, because what decks are running her? I know Lynette is still decent. Lynette is maybe still an A, but I don't. What decks are running her? Farazan, Kenki, Sarah is pretty solid. You think that's her better deck? Really? Kenki and Sarah? Interesting. I don't know. I would put her C or B. I think she's dropped a lot. Because those decks have just kind of popped off. Or, not popped off. Those decks have just kind of dropped off, rather. I don't know. I'm very tempted to put her C. Because I just can't think of too many decks were really good with her. The Sisson Mages. I'm going to be honest. I'm putting both of them D. Electro is better than Cryo, but who runs these things when you have better options? Your Farazan in C tier. Sorry, Chief. I do not put Farazan in S or anything higher than maybe arguably B. We could maybe argue B. I just don't feel like what's available right now with her is that good. You didn't know there was Cryosystem Mage? Yeah, Cryosystem Mage Shogun is old. But, yeah, Kenki is going to be top tier. In your honest opinion, Kenki really is back? Kenki is back? Use Electrosystem in Dvalin deck for Swirl Spam. Well, we see where Dvalin is, so I don't have high hopes for the combo. I'm sure it's not bad, but, you know. Pyro Fatui Agent. Man, remember when this guy was just the card? Like, him, Mona, Klee. Even before then, my first deck ran this card with Fischl and Sucrose. and absolutely stomped every other deck out there. Kenki decks, freaking Ayaka Yoimiya decks, Noel decks. This thing absolutely was destructive back in the day when I made it. I love that deck. It was the first deck I ever made, and it is very special. I don't think he goes too high anymore. I don't think this dude gets out of C rank, honestly. I don't see him getting past maybe Amber. Agent EC was solid, really interesting. Official, he's, again, we have Linny. Like, if you're gonna run Fatui Pyro, you run Linny. He's more versatile. He does more damage without the burst. He does big damage with the burst. He sustains by healing. You know, it's hard. Again, he's not bad. I still think he can be used. I just don't think you're gonna outdo Linny with Fatui Pyro, honestly. Remember the days he used to have 10 HP? Yeah. Official is S tier. Official to me is A to S. It really just depends. Where do we think Electro is, honestly? Because, like, I would put her A just because she's Electro right now, and I don't think Electro is in the best of best spots. But Official has always been solid. Like, legitimately, I think she's always been great. Her and Bennett are pretty good staples of things, honestly. Official was S tier and then got power crept twice. Well, yeah, Raiden came out, which was a problem. And what's the second power creep? I don't even know what the second power creep would be, to be honest with you. I still think Official's really good. Fremine. I don't know where to put Fremine. I feel like I tried to make a deck with him a couple of times, and I just couldn't get into his style. I don't think he's terrible. I think he has some value, but I think he's like C, honestly. I don't think he's that good. Right. You guys saying C as well. Like, I don't think he's that good. Oh, Kuki power crept? Kuki's a weird one. Okay. Cryo Abyss Agent here. Cryo Abyss Abyss. What? Fatui Operative. I got all of the words wrong other than Cryo. Let me just call her Pyro at this moment. Femine would have been busted if Treasure wasn't nerfed on his release. Oh, yeah. Treasure. Wait until we get here. Like, oh, boy. Treasure is... Honestly, I like this card. I think this card's a B. This isn't even just bias. I think you can really do some really stupid stuff with this card if you know what you're doing. You badly tried making Fremen deck, but you couldn't find any good synergy. Honestly, I tried making him with Melusine card. I tried making him with discard draw setup. I tried so many different things with him. I just think he's very clunky because you want to start with him to get the pair timer, but you want him to be like the dude who does the damage. It's like, what do you do with this guy? Like, I don't know. Farina, I think, is S tier or A tier. If I were to put Barbara in A tier, Farina would be an A tier, but I think Farina just has too much value. Like, she's Oceanid without being Oceanid. She's a damage buffer with just her burst. She's a healer like crazy. Like, she plays into so many different setups. She's Hydro, so you get Hydro Res, which I would argue is maybe the top res in the game. Probably between that or maybe Cryo right now. Like, she's top tier. Like, Farida is insane. Like, she is good. We're in for the long haul. Are you ranking all those action cards too? Yeah. Yeah, we're here for a while. Yeah, Farina is just very strong. Ganyu. Once again, how the mighty have fallen. Remember when Ganyu Kitsing Superconduct was a thing? I remember Ganyu Kitsing, even with Raiden, was a thing. Now it's just like, bro, who runs those? Like, honestly, Ganyu is... I'm going to kind of put her D tier. I don't think she's that great. I think she's really fallen off. Even if you're to play Big Shot Ganyu, right? She's so slow. so easily blockable, so easily countered, that if you have a semi-functional deck and you don't roll all pyro dice into a non-pyro deck like I do every time I stream, she's not great. Barbara S tier, you know it. Exactly. Cryocube is better than Ganyu, dang, yeah. I think Ganyu is still pretty strong. I don't. I think there's just better than her is the problem. Like, there's just better than Ganyu. And I like Ganyu, but, like, in terms of DPS for, like, Cryo, you have Wriothesley. And I know that sounds crazy, but, like, Wriothesley can just pop off. You could just wait until the end of a round and just start swinging. You ever place Wriothesley with freaking Gunhardaville or whatever the name of the card is that gives you 1 die when you have none? Dude can just continue swinging on that. Put him with Treasure, he swings. Put him with freaking March's Hunter, he swings. Like, he's gonna out DPS Ganyu and still be much more defensible. Then you have the defense side of it. I mean, if you want something for defense and summons, I mean, Layla's easier to get out the summon and have defense, and she can draw cards. Like, and she can shoot off things. Like, I just feel like there are whatever value you want from Ganyu, another card just does it better. The only thing she provides to the table is piercing. Just like how broken Hydro is in the side game. The side game is a crazy way to describe the main game. S tier is Hydro plus Chiori. I mean, yeah, Hydro is good. I've always said that. Hydro is good. Wolf. Wriothesley and Yoimiya is quite a deadly combo. Yeah, Wriothesley, Yoimiya, like, it is a thing. I liked my Wriothesley deck. We'll get to it when we look at my decks. I loved this deck. It got nerfed for sure, but I still love it. Wolf. Wolf is tricky. I feel like you can make a very, very, very deadly Wolf deck if you pair him with the right stuff. I put him with Sarai, and we saw on stream, again, it was a little jank, and I never made it into a full video, but, like, when your opponent just takes 5 end phase damage across the board and dies, like, it's hilarious. I like Wolf. I think he's tricky to work with, though. He's C to B. I think maybe B. I would put him... Honestly, I'm going to put him a little higher. I don't think he's low B. I don't actually think he's low B now I think about it. I think he's because I think with how I made him, I made a very novel kind of a deck that played into a very specific gimmick. But I think if you're going to be more strategic with it, I'd put him around here. I'd put him mid to high B. I think he can be very useful. He can be very good. Wolf's problem is how talent dependent he is. That is true. He is talent dependent. But I do think he can be very strong. I do think he's not terrible in my opinion. Wolf is like Chiori, okay without talent, great with talent. Agreeable. Yeah. Goro. What does bro do? Like, he just buffs Geo damage, right? Like, I swear, what decks run this guy? I was wondering, can you run him with Wolf and just have dog deck? Like, what does he do? He is D? Yeah, Noel's slave. Oh. Well, I mean, there are worse people to be slaves to, I guess. Like... just Geo buffer, none. Bro fell off. Was he ever on? When was he there? Like, I kind of agree. I don't know where this guy goes. Like, I could think of an argument for Electro Sisson Mage before I could think of one for him. Like, where does this dude go? I just don't know. Goro is so bad, his buff doesn't even apply to summons, just a potato. Cool. Like, what? Like, that's how bad. He's so bad, I don't know what he does. APEP. High A into S. I think APEP is still a stupidly busted deck. I still hate this card with a passion. I feel like I've made the destroying Apep decks and Navia decks just like my dream and like my goal in life. I despise Apep so hard. Apep is A, annoyingly A. A to S. I think his deck is S tier. He himself maybe A. I don't know. I hate this card so much. He goes in S because of spite. S for spite. Like I don't like him at all. Hu Tao. Guys, please don't show this stream to Freya, because if Hu Tao doesn't end up in S tier, my girlfriend will kill me. In Minecraft and Roblox and, you know, not real life in theory, but like, she's kind of mid. She's kind of, yeah. Yeah, she's kind of mid. This music's very fitting. So, yeah, anyways, sorry, yeah, please don't tell Freya. Anyways, Freya about to appear in chat. No, Freya is not gonna appear in chat. Do not summon her. Take it like a no. No. Freya could be scary when angry. I love her. Hydro Churl. When Hydro Churl first came out, I felt like he was really jank and just didn't fit anywhere. Like, and I don't know. I don't know if he still does go kind of nowhere, or if he's found a place. There's more technique cards, so I think he's better in that regard. But, you know, I think maybe there's an argument for B. Billy Churl is in need of his brothers, and perhaps, yeah. His tech takes 1 turn to charge up, which is janky. Yeah, like, if I'm being merciful and just being like, we don't have a spot for him, B, he weirdly wants to be in freeze decks. Maybe once a Cryo-Lector comes out, he'll find a better place. But for now, I'm kind of putting him... I'm going to kind of put him mid-C. Because I feel like you can do things with him, but his skill ceiling... I don't even know if it's a high skill ceiling. I just think he's jank. I just think he's just not... In a one-man versus one-man fight, having his burst in his technique card, rather, is all right. Outside of that, like, because you can just dodge it so easily. It's really weird. Dendro Chicken. I think Dendro Chicken is probably still a C. I think Dendro Chicken's still kind of mid. There are better. D for Dendro Boss, really? I think he's C. I think you can do stuff with him, but I do think he's a lower C. I'd probably put him maybe around right there. Dendro is still very good, especially if how much Hydro is there and stuff. You can work with him. I don't know if I'd put him right down into D rank, because he can pack a punch, but he's not going above C by any means. Gene. When was the last time we've seen Gene in a deck? Also, I hate Gene. Like, Sucrose, Gene, Mona? Really, when was the last time we've seen Gene? Why do you want Gene over, like, Lynette? For healing? You have, what's-her-face now? You have her now. Like, why do we want Gene? She got a small buff dispatch. Really? How did she get buffed? Because I was going to argue she's gone you. I was going to put her like that. She's become obsolete because Sucrose Mona Gene is obsolete. Like, again, I could make an argument for... She ain't going below Goro, I don't think. But Kazuha. A rank, I think. I think Kazuha is an A or arguably S. Probably like mid to at a high. Like Kazuha is very good now. There's a lot of decks that can run him. I think Shinobu Kirara Kazuha is pretty good. Like I'd put Kazuha in like A to potentially S. Kaya, I think Kazuha is guess who's here? Hi, Katz. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the Twitch chat. It's Twitch and YouTube dual stream here. Kaya. K for Kaya. And bro goes below the alphabet here. I don't want to put him in D, but he's kind of D. I feel like you can do something with him, but I don't know. I'm being merciful here. Ayaka. Oh, God. Ayaka. Guys. Ooh, how the mighty have fallen from the first update. Okay. Has Ayaka ever come back from the first update? Like, did she ever come back? Did she ever revive after getting the Yoimiya nerf? Because I can't think of a really much of a deck that would work with her. Like, I think she's just straight up D rank with freaking Ganyu. In fact, I would probably put her down there. Maybe above, actually not even above Jean. I'd put her above Goro. In fact, Goro, go down there. Go there, Goro. Goro, you go eat some peanut butter. Ayato. Ayato is better than Ayaka, I think. I'd go that. You run her in a Superconduct summon deck with Senora and Dory? Who tier? Honestly, not a bad idea, Kieran, because there are some of these characters, Kaya, Jean, Ayaka, the Sisson mages, Goro, D-Luke. Literally who? Like, I swear I don't see them. Ayaka is good, but still C. I don't know if I'd push her to C. Ayato. Oh, Ayato, rather. I thought you were talking Ayaka. Yeah, I was going to say that Ayato is... He is... I would say... maybe like there. I think you can run him in some stuff, but... Like, you want his burst for a lot of things. I don't know if I'd go much higher than that. Ayato high C tier. Kave. Once again, how the mighty have fallen. You remember when Kave was complete and utter BS? Because I do. And yet at the same time, I still hated him just because I just felt he was so jank. Nobody runs Kave anymore, I feel. Like, Kave talent has scary synergy with discarding Apep summon and gives copy into your hand. Yeah, but like... you have to run Bloom to do that. And that means you're not running Xinyan, so who's doing that? Because if you're going to run Apep, you're running Xinyan. That's also, yeah, isn't that location cards? Wait, Underguy's right. No, it's scary synergy. No, actually, now that I think about it, Underguy's right. I haven't used this dude in so long, I forgot how he freaking works. No, I think Kave is probably down here. I would put him low C. I think he's dropped. I don't think he's completely D. I think you can run BS Kave, but it's nothing special. Kitsing, once again, used to be up there with Whale. I don't think she's terrible, but it works on any card. It discounts locations, but copies any card. Oh. Was it? I thought it was just locations. No, it does I know it discounts, but does it copy? Whatever. Nobody runs Kave. Keck, I would probably say is C. But she's a higher C. I think she's like, you can use her and stuff. Again, especially if Rosaria one-shot, I think you could use her actually in a lot more. She might, with Rosaria one-shot, she might push to B. But again, compare it to Thunder Manifestation, and I don't know. Kiwawawa, with Kazuha existing, Kiwawawa, I think, is B. I think Kiwawawa actually works because of Kazuha. You take Kazuha's stuff away, Kiwawawa not as strong, but Kazuha Kuki makes her very good. I would probably even right now put her above Dea. Klee, once again, one of the mighties, little mighty mouse here. Again, Rosaria one-shots. Can run her if you could run her with like Eula Rosaria as well instead of Thunder Manifestation, I suppose. It's not a bad idea, but I still think I think she's still good. I would still put her probably B rank. I don't think she hits A rank yet. Klee, Chiori, Navia is solid aggro, really? Sarah, I think Sarah is high B, up there with Kiwawawa. She's good in aggro. We made a deck with her recently, which was Sarah, Linny, Hydro Abyss Lector, or Herald, rather. And I think Sarah is quite strong. Kuki, I think we do know is A. I put her a little lower than Official, but I do know that she is strong, and Kuki decks can be very annoying. Especially again when you have things like Veteran's Visage and stuff. It can be a struggle. Kaveh can also discard Countdown and copy it. Yo, that's crazy. Just tons of Countdown. Senora. I really like Senora. Senora is one of my favorite cards, but I don't think she goes above B. I don't think she gets into A range, but she is good. I would put her like right there. I really like her, but I'd put her there. Layla, kind of the same deal. I think Layla is maybe a little better, a little more versatile than Senora, but B tier. She could maybe push her way into A in certain decks. Lisa with Kazuha update. Lisa is maybe mid B into C. What if Lisa S? I don't know. I sense bias there. She's too versatile in almost any deck. Layla or one of them? I think Lisa's mid B. I don't think there's too much to say there. Lynette is A. I think Lynette has always been a pretty good A DPS here. She is good. Kuki. Oh yeah, Kuki is, I wouldn't say every deck, but she is strong. Linny. I would argue Linny is still S tier. A to S tier. I think Linny is still A to S. I think he's still really powerful. And yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's still amazingly strong, I think. Kenki, I think, is probably A, maybe around like Bennett range here. I've always been a big fan of Kenki. I think last year I ranked Kenki pretty high too. The thing with Kenki is that his opening is very predictable. It's kind of like Raiden. Dude has a very predictable opening. However, unlike Raiden, there's a bit of versatility. You don't have to open with both summons with Kenki. You can open with just one, and there's tricks to how you want to order his summons. So I think he's a little more versatile than Raiden. But you see Kenki, you know what you're in store for. Seahorse. Seahorse is an interesting one because prior to the wolf existing, Seahorse is a very, very good defensive character. Like, this dude can stall out on summons and just be like, yeah, whatever. Apep, I'm gonna tank it. Like, he is very, very strong. I like Seahorse a lot, but we have Wolf. And that's what scares me, is that because, like, Wolf can just be like, nah, screw you. Boop. Also, Seahorse is really only good at stalling. He doesn't really do much damage, and once his shield goes down, bro is dead. I don't think he goes past low B because of that. Maybe I'm going to put him above. Why is she here? I feel like I could do more of that. I think Ito is probably lowest. I wouldn't put him past low B. I just wouldn't. New spring location will help with decks like Kenki. Oh, in what way help? Mualani's summon also looks like to be a nuke. I don't know if it's tankable. Oh, cute. So send-off is that. I see that's where send-off comes in potentially. Okay. I didn't realize they changed Mere Maiden. Her skill card now gives the plus hydro damage, and innately she has the debuff on dice movement. That's a high B for me. The tax, just innate tax now on Mere Maiden. I didn't even realize that until I did it at one point. It was like, wait, what? I think Mere Maiden is very strong. Wolf Lord is basically only used for shield decks. I wouldn't say that. Springs of People increases summons usage when they are summoned. Oh, what the crap. Great, we're back to the horrors of summon decks. Lovely. Wait. Could you do that on, like, Whale or something? Would it really matter? Probably not. She's getting 3 damage the next patch, too. Oh, Maiden is also getting another buff this patch. Her skill is now 3. Mere Maiden? Oh, Jesus Christ. Are we going to bring back freaking MEC? Or whatever it is, Mere Maiden Electro Charge? Please don't. Mona. Mona's very versatile. It's kind of hard for me not to put her in A. Like, I think she's always been a solid A. Her quick swap, she is a staple of Hydro. Like, she has good defense. She has good Hydro application. She has quick swap. Mona's always been A to S. Like, honestly, I don't know if she's in the broken levels of them, but Mona has always been very strong. Like, she's up here. I think it's a very hard argument to put her anything lower than A, and I think it's an easy enough argument to make her in from A to S. I don't think that's too hard to see. But Mona's very good. That's what it's looking like with Yai Miko being buffed. What do you mean Yai's being buffed? Because that girl was about to end up in literally who rank? Hee. A to S rank, I think, still with Hee. Fast action innately super good. It is good. I still think Hee needs a massive nerf. I'm sorry. I know there are people who are like, no, Hee is not busted. No, the seeds of Skana are perfectly balanced. No, IPEs are, you made that up. Okay, I made up the term, yes, but intangible persistent effects still exist in this game, and they're still BS. Wolf Lord made him even more BS. I still stand by the fact that there should be ways to cleanse those effects. Things like Skana, things like Lisa's conductivity, things like this. I still think a cleanse is needed. The fact that it doesn't exist, I'm still going to stand by. She is S rank BS. I do not like that. Her summon does +1 if you use skill twice. Oh, great. Yeah, he's going full meta next patch. I hate that character. I hate her in game, but now I'm going to hate her in the TCG. Lovely. Here's some Natlin music. More like Dea when she has her field out +1 damage if it's out. Dea gets +1 damage when her field's out. When did that buff happen? Navia. Busted. I hate this. Navia is busted. 1, because she just does a lot of damage, but 2, her shrapnel, still not nerfed. Still cheap. The new update is out right now. That's crazy. No wonder no wonder people have left probably. I should have done this earlier, like 5 when it started. I didn't know when the freaking update started. Yeah, Navia I think is still busted. I think she is atrociously broken. just because of her shrapnel. That is a broken card. Her herself is whatever. Her shrapnel is BS. Navia pair of Chiori and any applicator is the worst thing. It is annoying for sure. Yeah, we got to turn that down there a little bit, Chief. I don't like her at all. Neuvillette. Solid B, I think, around of Klee. I think he can be quite strong. I don't think he is as broken or ridiculous as some of these ones. Maybe you can argue low A, maybe, but I think he's solid B. Nilou Bloom is annoying but manageable. I'm going to put her solid C. Without her skill card, it definitely falls off, but Nilou plus People of the Springs location must have doubles the Bountiful Core for more end phase damage. Oh, lovely. Guys, I'm not becoming the Nilou Bloom deck guy. I've already become the freaking Noel deck guy. I already became the Wanderer deck guy. I've made 2 Nilou Bloom decks. I'm not becoming the Nilou deck guy. I'm not becoming the Nilou guy. Yes, I have a C6 Nilou, but I'm not becoming the Nilou guy. Ningguang. Bro, who? I don't think she's complete garbage, but, like... Bro, who? Like, literally, maybe like here. She's, like, mid-C. Noelle... B. I think Noelle's solid B up here for Klee and them. She's not bad. She's got good defense. Tsitsi. Guys, is there any deck that runs Tsitsi? I legitimately don't think so. You know, I was beaten down by Stall Ningguang the other day. Well, I don't really know a deck that runs Tsitsi, honestly. I'm not saying she's bad, but I think she's, like, low C, honestly. Your healer deck. I mean, I like Chi-Chi, but... Raiden? Yep. Yeah, it's time to get angry, folks. Ladies and gentlemen. Raiden is indeed going to be C rank. Have fun. Get angry. Anger. Embrace it. We're starting off the new year in rage. Razor, honestly, D rank. Like, literally, who? Maybe with certain decks he can push to C, but meh. Oceanid. Is Oceanid going to be potentially annoying with the new Springs card? Like, with new Springs card, is she going to be a problem? I'm not basing this off of New Springs card. New Springs card doesn't exist until tomorrow for me. The update says it's coming out the 1st. It's still the 31st. Sorry, the update doesn't exist. The Oceanid is D tier right now. Oceanid has dropped off like crazy. Probably it adds usage. Rosaria, actually broken. Literally one of the most hated cards in the entire game. Arguably I'd put her probably like here. Really, really hate this card. Kokomi. She's not bad, but I think she's like low B. I like her a lot. It's just hard to place her places. Sayu, similarly, I think Sayu is probably like mid B. She has her values, but outside of like Mew, which you can replace Wanderer with Sayu, really where are you going to use her? Shenhe. Once again, how the mighty have fallen. Shenhe, I'm going to guess C-ish, roughly. Probably like high C. You think Ocean is probably still dead in a ditch? Yeah, wouldn't this be better? Wait a minute. Wouldn't the new People's thing be better with Farina? Because that thing's going to shoot twice. And just, like, hit you for double damage. God, Farina Chiori opening is just going to leave you dead. So wait, does the People of the Springs card, does this new card literally just up the damage of all summons? Because if so, literally, Farina Chiori insta combo with skill cards, you just die. It always does with at least 6p or 6 HP. What does? Like, does this People the Springs card? You guys said that increases summons damage. Any summon summoned adds 1 usage. Oh, it just adds usage. I thought it added damage too. Because I was gonna say, if it adds +1 damage to summons as well, bruh. Kokomi also got a bit of a small buff this patch. Well, yeah, because we got People the Spring. Great, summons are back. Can't wait to run. I can't wait to run. Oh god, Apep decks again, or Whale decks with freaking Oath. Squeegee. Honestly, guys, I think Squeegee is really jank. I like Squeegee. I think she has some value. Maybe she'll be better this time. She's jank. I like her, but she's jank. He does not want People with Springs card. No. He doesn't want People with Springs card. I'm saying Guardian's Oath. Or like Whale or something. Well, actually, he doesn't want Guardian's Oath either. But like, I'm thinking somebody's going to run Guardian's Oath to get rid of all this crap. Lawa Churl. D. Sucrose. C. I feel like some of these are easy enough. He's probably a good DPS B for Tartaglia here. I think he's still not bad. Toma. Toma's not terrible, but who do you pair him with, right? Like, I feel like Toma's down here in low B. Because he is still support. Just usage by 1, not damage. Dang. Sijuin Kit does not work with discard engine. Sad. That's unfortunate. Thunder Manifestation. Welcome to Busted Central because Rosaria exists. Tainari. I like Tainari, but man, you're down here with them. You're D. I'm sorry, my dude. I'd put you above Chicken. Venti is up here with, where's Ayato? Or not Ayato, Albedo. Where is Albedo? I lost where this dude went. Guys, where did I put Albedo? Oh, there he is. It took me a minute. Yeah, he's there with Albedo. I'm glad you guys are B. Yeah, me can't see. Him, Albedo, Xiao. Very strong setup. Wanderer, I think, is thankfully back down to like low B. I think he's still strong, but you know, I think this dude is A because again, he can just attack. It's hard to say that he should be above. It's really hard to say that he should be above Neuvillette, honestly. But I do think Risley is very good because he can just keep attacking. Xiang Ling has definitely fallen off, but she's not useless by any means. I do think she's a good C. Arguably even S with dice reduction in his kit. I don't know. I think he's still very good. I do think Risley. I would not argue S. I don't think he's S rank at all. This is reserved for your most busted characters right now. You guys have said that she is S rank as God knows what. And I can see the idea with Kuki. I'm going to put her up here with Kuki and take your guys' word with that. I don't know if I would say S rank because I just haven't used her much. Xiao, I think, is up here in... He's good in one very specific deck with Albedo and Venti. Outside of that, not that much better. Xingqiu. I think Xingqiu will always have a B kind of a ranking here. He's not bad, but he's not amazing either right now. He's kind of fallen off a little bit, but he's still very strong. It's pretty dumb and easy reactions. Sinyun can produce a lovely. Sijuin with Stove card, late game for guaranteed small bubbles, heal, and droplet. I mean, sure. You could also just run her of Dendro Res, too. Sinyan. Sinyan, actually, I'm going to put an A. No. No, Xinyan's B. Outside of APEP, Xinyan is not that great. B. Yay. D tier, but likely going to get buffed into oblivion. Just saying. Guys, you remember last time we did this and I spent like 30 minutes complaining about what they did to my girl? How did they do this to Yenfei? She deserves so much better, and like her kit and Klee's kit should be reversed. There's no reason why Yenfei should not get the damage reduction on doing skill into, not damage reduction, cost reduction. Skill into charge attack, cost reduction. That's literally how her actual kit works. This is depressing, and I hate that this is what it is. She's pretty much... She's like there. I like Yenfei, but she can't get above C. She's too... You tried Xinyan APEP deck, what was too clunky and slow? Xinyan APEP deck is busted if you know what you're doing. She is Kazuha, but more flexible skill-wise with swirls and has a usable burst. Kazuha doesn't. Klee with the movement tech and not Yenfei. Exactly, like, what was with that? Yao Yao. You guys said Yao Yao is better than Baizhu. I don't know if I agree with that. I'm going to put her right there. Yelan, I think, is good, especially with her skill card is very good if you've got multiple, if you're running, like, gilded kind of decks. But short of that, where did we put Xingqiu? I lost where we put the dude. Where's the twink? I'm going to put her, like, right there. Not bad. Yoimiya, I still think can be very strong as a support. But not super, super strong. She does have her value, though. Yunjin, how the mighty have fallen. Thank Christ, please. Bye. And Zhongli, I think, is still alright. He's probably C tier, but he's good with Chiori. So I would put him probably around, like, there. And that's where I rank the characters right now. I kind of went through the last few of them pretty quickly because they're just... I feel like some of them are self-explanatory, honestly. I don't think we need a whole lot of discussion for some of them. The S ranks are truly the busted ones, which is very fascinating because typically your best decks are probably run in your S and A ranks, maybe some of your B ranks. It's odd that you can't really put all of the S ranks into a deck. I guess you could Navia, Chiori, Hydro Herald, or Farina, or even Barbara. Or Christ, even her. You could probably run some busted business here, actually. Her into Chiori's skill, into just waiting to spam this down with freaking crit. Busted. Like, yeah, I think this could be... This is right now. This is where we're at. This is our setup. Your S ranks, I think, are the most busted. A ranks are very strong. But usually are going to utilize some of these others. B ranks are good in specific broken decks. Or they're good or have been consistently good, but just aren't right now. So there's a bit of a leeway there. How is Yai getting buffed next patch? Yai is getting buffed next patch in that... She apparently, the second time you do her skill just does +1 damage, apparently, from what chat's telling me. I am live on Twitch here, Floaty. It's good to see you on Twitch, even though you're usually on YouTube. But yeah, there we go. There's this one. When her summon is on the field, she'll apply +1 electro damage. Like, will her summons do that, or will just her normal attacks do that? Oops. Okay. That feels slightly broken, though. Yeah. We're on to the big thing. The skill cards. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be real. They're the skill cards, the action cards. I'm going to try to go through these a little faster. I'm going to save a lot of the skill cards towards the end because, frankly put, I can't recognize a lot of them. But I do remember most of the action cards. So I'm going to try to go through some of them, and we're going to go through them kind of quickly, or at least try to, because we have 350 cards to go through. That's how many action cards there are, 350. Adeptive's Temptation. Actually, no, where are we skipping this? Abyssal Summons. I like this card. It's probably... This will be stronger next patch, right? Because now you'll... I'm going to put it in, like, C. I think it could be very good. Adeptus Temptation. B. Situational, but not bad. This artifact here, this is the Adventurer's Headband. You get +1 health when you normal attack. It is not half bad with Risley. Even with Neuvillette, but why would you run this over Veterans or Marichus? I don't know. I think this one is probably D. Do you think game is out? Oh, I'm sure it is. That's why you've noticed a lot of people have not been saying much, because they've gone to do it. This is... Which one is this? Guys, which bow is that? Is that... I can't tell which bow that is. Hold on. We're gonna take a zoom in. That is Amos. Okay. Okay, Amos bow. Nobody wants that. I'm gonna be real. Other than Ganyu, nobody's running that. Maybe the only person, maybe Child. Okay, so this makes artifacts and weapons cost 2 less. I think this is still good. Not used as much, but still good. This is Aquila Favonia. I think this is good in certain situations, but still probably C. That's Ito's card. I'm not worried about that. This is Petra. I think these are all D rank, I'm going to be honest with you. This thing, I think, is B rank in the right situations. This card is D rank, D rank, D rank. I think most of these artifacts can go there. This card makes Amber one-shot possible and good, but you do have to run Amber. I'm going to say it's about a B rank card. I don't know why I'm putting skill cards up there right now. I shouldn't be. This is Buttercrab. So this gives you the 2 shield across the board. I think it's useful if you are in a situation where you have to stall out OTKs. So I think it's a little more versatile than that. Calix's Arts. Calix's Arts has kind of gone on the low because energy bursts aren't as big of a deal, right? Like... I feel like Calix's Arts is probably going to be C to B. Update is out in 20 minutes. Oh, dang. I knew it wasn't out just yet. Situationally decent, yeah. This is... I gotta zoom in on this one. This is the smaller cost one, right? This is the one that, just skills are 1 cheaper. I don't think this is all that great. Actually, I'm gonna move you down there, and you move you there. Yeah, I don't think that's great. Changing shifts, I think, is... We can get that for free from Rosaria. I think this is a low... I'm gonna put it low B. It's out for you, really? Interesting. Chang the Ninth, I think, is still an alright card, but he does kind of get power crept by some of the others we'll get to. Chef Mao, I feel, is pretty good. The Forest. So if you end last, you get an extra die, I believe. It's kind of D rank, I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, this card, so Covenant of Rock, when you have 0 dice, you can get 2 random ones. Not bad. I think most arcane cards are going to end up in A rank for the most part. Once again, you're going to end up here. Dawn Winery, there's so many better ways to get yeah, there's so many better ways to get to make moving easier. I'm going to say that's pretty low. What deck would you purposely end second? Always felt awkward. I guess if you're running Pancration and trying to mess with the... If you're running, like, Desperate Pancration in this, maybe, but... Dunyazad, I think Dunyazad is still kind of S tier. She's still very good. This is, Elegy. Nobody runs Elegy, honestly. I think it's maybe even worse than Amos. The Resonances. Okay. Georez is maybe B tier. PyroRez, B tier. ElectroRez, legit, I'm going to put this into D tier. I actually do not think that this card is good anymore because energy is just not that big of a deal. AnimoRez, AnimoRez used to be S tier, and if you're running double Animo, and I think you could still make an argument that it's A to S tier. I'm going to put it into A, and I'm going to put Cryo and Hydro S tier, with Hydro arguably better. Dendro, I'm putting down here with Electro because who runs it? Like, literally, who runs it? Decks that have prepare skills usually run second. That is true. So, again, Hydro, Abyss Herald. The dice. Same general difference here, I think. Because of the res, I think this is pretty obvious to me. They're just kind of being paired with their reses because you're not going to run certain cards to get them, frankly. They are giving Mavica and Sitlali away. Get both right now. No, they aren't. Ain't giving that away. Hoyo ain't that merciful. Ellen. She's D. You can use her, but nah. This card actually, so this one increases burst damage, and every time somebody uses a burst, you gain energy. I think that this is good in burst decks. I would argue a solid C rank. This card, low C, I would say. Not when they give away Chinese New Year awards in second phase. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're like, yeah, screw you. But honestly, just skip both. Who cares? This card here, so whenever you use burst, it gives one energy to other people. Not half bad, but again, bursts just aren't in the strongest area for when you'd want to use it. So right now, I'm going to put it in D. Fatui Resonance, I feel, is a strong B. You need, obviously, Fatui's, but it's good. Favonius Cathedral, I think it's probably a good B rank here. There are other ways to heal, but it's not bad. Favonius Longsword, who wants to use this, honestly? Kuki, maybe. I could see Kuki using it. I could see Layla using it. About it. Nilu, maybe, but like it is too situational, honestly. I think it's about a D rank, honestly. I ain't messing with these just yet. This card. So if you have less than 4 cards in your hand, you and your opponent, you draw up to 4. Nice if you're messing around with Desperate decks to be a jerk, but this card is actually just kind of pointless because there's a 2 cost. And there are so many better, like, 2 costs there. But outside of that, it's kind of, nah. So this one, you play it and you draw 3 cards, but it's a 3 cost of any dice. This is not bad, actually. I would put this at C. Gamblers, I think, is especially still S tier. I think Gamblers will always be very high. Generals is... I think Generals is still D tier because we have other things. Narukami Shrine used to be good a lot, but it's not really run all that much anymore. I think that's D tier. Guardian's Oath is going to come back. Hear me out. Guardian's Oath is going to make a comeback, I promise. Promise, guys. C tier. I'm taking a risk. It's coming back. Hanachiyo Sato. I was gonna say, you know, maybe with the new summon stuff, but the new summon stuff is just making summons last longer. I think this is still gonna be D rank. Truth be told, I think this is gonna be real D rank. Yeah, this is real D rank hours right there. Yeah, we got this stuff. I don't think these are easy. Heavy Strike. I think Heavy Strike is a solid B. With Rosaria, the one-shot decks can be very strong. I think it is solid B. I haven't lost yet. Scroll up, please. Solid A card. I think it's always been good, even post-nerf. Still strong. Okay. This card... very situational. I'm going to put it as a situational... I'm going to put it here. Very situational. Hanachiyo Sato could have been alright if we didn't have quicker ways of obtaining weapons. Yeah, and equipment and stuff, yeah. And just... yeah, it takes too long. Iron Tongue Tian... I'm going to put him in low C. Or low... well, no, this is D. He's not bad, but no, he's costly. No, I'm going to put him low D. I'm going to put him D. I'm going to put him D. I don't think he's used enough. This particular card here, I think, is A rank. I used to, guys, last year, I used to be like, no, don't play Jade Chamber. Always play Favonius Library. Jade Chamber got buffed, and it's not too bad. And with how my luck is, Jade Chamber and Favonius Library, honestly, are just up there together. I still put Favonius Library higher, though. Instructor would have been great if prepared skills worked and not just on skill activations. Yeah, because then it would have worked well with, Sayu and Herald and Dvalin and, yeah, a lot of stuff. Wait, no. It does work with skilled, doesn't it? It does work with prepared skills, because it works with Dvalin. You have C1 Mavika and C0 Lolly. Jesus Christ, Shogun. The update just came out a few minutes ago. Did you just, like, get, like, double in Denbul? Crazy. This food gives you +1 normal attack damage. Or just +1 attack damage. Yeah, with normal attacks. And it's a 0 cost. This can be a very annoying food, and when paired correctly, actually pretty strong. I'm going to put it up here. Paired with him. Not bad. Catherine. I think Catherine is a solid A. Always has been. Bro, the kid with ball. Kid with ball is... nah. I ain't a big fan. He's too clunky, and he gives your opponent stuff. Like, if you could use him to, like, block your opponent, then maybe the kid would be good. But, nah. I don't think so. You guys know my opinion on Favonius Library. If I don't have Favonius Library, I just roll all Pyro dice when I don't have Pyro. Like, I always roll the wrong dice. Yeah, you know my opinion on these. They're mid. Can we get you where you need to be? No, put you here then. Leave It to Me is gonna be here with... excuse you, is going to be up here with changing shifts. I'm putting it above it. I think quick swap is better than free swap in most situations, but situational. Peak dice rigging. Yeah, I need dice rigging. Speaking of, Lieben. S tier. Lieben's 100% S tier. I think he's been S tier the entire game. I'm pretty sure I put him as S tier. Bro is S tier. Hands down. Kitchen Stiletto. C tier. Lithic Spear. Very situational, because when are you going to play enough leeway characters for it? Yeah, it's too situational, but it's not terrible. Liu Su. Liu Su is good if you get him round 1. If you don't, not really that great. Liyue Harbor, card draw, not terrible. I'm gonna put him a little bit above Chang the Ninth. A little more expensive, but it gets results. Off talk, but Hu Tao's skin goes hard. Really? I saw somebody on Twitter comparing Hu Tao's skin to freaking Jinxi's skin from Wuwa and being like, "Wow, the skin's so bad." I'm just like, you're buying skins for the aesthetic. Like, yeah, could they have some cool effects? I agree with my girlfriend Freya, who wanted Hu Tao's skin to be a 5-star skin. I think Hoyo needs to make more 5-star skins that have special effects. I don't know why they stopped with D-Luke. Maybe people didn't buy D-Luke's skin, but bro, it was D-Luke. Who cares about D-Luke? Like, give us characters that are more beloved. Hu Tao's beloved. The Hu Tao simps are unhinged. Minus Freya, she's, you know, sane. I think. Lucky Dogs. Lucky Dogs is a... I'm going to put it lowish C. There's better ways to heal, but it's not bad. Why is D-Luke the only 5-star skin? Because I think Hoyo did it and we're like, oh, it didn't sell. And since it didn't sell, we can't do more. That's why. Did your first 10 pulls in month not playing Genshin, and it's a Kutsing constellation. Well, that's a sign, ain't it, Andy? They can give me 10 more skins and you'd buy them all. Really? I don't know about that. At least I wouldn't. The book. I'm going to put the book, surprisingly enough, above the 3 stars because it's cheap 1 damage. We know where that's going. We know where this is going. Master Zhang. Master Zhang kind of fell off once Wagner got his buff, so I'm going to put Master Zhang in... I'm going to put Master Zhang C tier. Lotus Crisps. Still S rank. Food. 100% staple of a lot of decks. Minty Meat Rolls. A rank for sure. Very good in OTK decks with normal attacks with Sino. The Mondstadt Hash Browns. B rank. There are better now. We've got more value. The pizza, similarly, B rank. They've fallen a little bit. I'm gonna put them B rank. Okay. Sumeru Res. C rank. I think it's low C. Better than the weapons. I'm gonna put it right there. You need Sumeru Res for it, but it can be played into certain decks and be good. It is not that bad. Where are we? This is the foods cost, or foods cost. What? Normal attacks cost 1 less, right? For 0? Nothing beats the Macron healing card. Macron healing card is good, and take care, Shogun. Macron healing card is good. I was thinking also, Machitake Meat Rolls. This card I am going to put with this one here. I think both of them are good equally. NRE. NRE has fallen a bit. I think it is probably... I think it's probably low C. I think there are better ways to just draw more consistent cards. And I also think Chef Mao does the job well enough with what he does. Paimon. We're not on Paimon. Never mind. We're on this card. This card's... Just run the full thing, honestly. I'm going to put it right here. Just run the full thing. Now we're on Paimon. Paimon's still not terrible, but she's still not... You have to get her out for cheap. I'm going to put Paimon... I'm going to put Paimon bottom B... high C. Very situational. High C. Sumeru Res, did something happen to stream? Oh, connecting chat. Okay, something just happened to my Twitch chat, that's all. Sumeru Res without strong card draw feels bad. Sumeru Res without something specifically that you want to draw into feels bad. Parametric. I think Parametric is still very strong. Maybe not super, super strong, but still very strong with OTK decks that utilize normal attacks, again, like Sino. Plunging Strike. I'm going to put it C tier. I think there are better ways to free swap into swings. I don't think that you need that. God, look at all these skill cards we're going to have to go through. Quick Knit. I think Quick Knit is going to be made obsolete or very close to obsolete because of the Pools card that's coming out. And Quick Knit has always already been kind of situational. So I'm putting Quick Knit right there. D tier. I think Quick Knit's D tier. Rana. Rana is very situational. High D, maybe. Yeah, I think she's high D. Got Sun Mommy. That is a phrase that I never wanted to hear in my life. Thanks. This makes the next skill cost one less, if I remember, right? This is the Sashimi Platter. The next skill that you use costs one less, if I'm correct. I don't see this run much, honestly, and it costs one. I think this is maybe a low C tier food. Arguably even beneath the NRE itself. I just don't see it much. Where are we now? All these bloody skill cards. The bow. I'm gonna put the bow relatively where I put the catalyst 2-star. It's a quick 1 damage buff for 2. Can be useful. NA plus 1 damage the entire round. Oh, the entire round. It still costs 1. Okay, with that being said, what plus 1 round? I thought it was a skill 1. Maybe I'm going crazy. I'm glad you corrected me because I totally would have messed that up. That's gonna move it up a little bit. I still don't see it used too much. It's over like Minty. So I'm still gonna keep it. I'm gonna put it high C. I'm gonna high C. It's moving a little bit. Fan, objectively D. Like very D. Rhythm of the Great Dream. There's better ways to get out weapons now and equipment, but this still isn't terrible. I'm gonna put it D rank or C rank though. It's not the worst, but there's just better, more consistent ways. The fish and chips are the skill reduction food. That's the okay. That's sashimi platter, fish and chips. I can't tell the difference between some of these. Okay, we are in the realm of weapons. Sack weapons. Sack bow. Where did I just put you? Sack bow, come here. Sack bow, I think, is a C tier weapon. It's good for Dionystal. It can be good, I think, even for Farzan. It's a C tier. Sack fragments. I'm going to put it as C tier as well because you can use it with some various cards that would want to use there. Maybe even Yae going forward will want that. Sack Claymore. Honestly, I don't know any character that wants Sack Claymore other than Dory. I'm putting this D tier. And then Sack Sword. I'm going to put it up here because you can theoretically run it with, like, Lynette. I just don't think that you generally will. There are some cards you'd run it with, even Kuki, even Kazuha, but I don't think you're generally going to run Sack Sword very much. There's better options. But it isn't the worst thing in the world. You can make stuff around it. Next on the list, we have Sengonomiya Shrine or Watatsumi Shrine. I'm gonna put it it's B tier, but it's below Fav. I'm putting it below Fav. I don't think that it's gonna outdo Fav. I think Fav, the concentrated +2 is good. It can be useful if you combine it with, like, the Watatsumi artifact or even potentially Farina's. So Sashimi needs some forms of NA dice reduction to be viable. Clearance skill will do that for the entire round. Okay, that's an idea then. So we might see sashimi more frequently in this update. Send-off. Well, all things considered, Send-off is probably making a comeback into high B. I'm gonna take a gander. High B. This card is very situational. It's good with Sayu. It's good with Cube. It's good potentially with Abyss Herald, but you usually do just want to do his burst. And I guess with Abyss Herald, it's not going to matter much now because he's getting nerfed. I'm going to put it as right there. It's better, but it's not great. You need 2 energy at least, and then your skills do additional damage. And it does work with, whatchamabob, with, prepared skills. Okay, the Skyward weapons. No. The Skyward weapons, I'm putting pretty much all of them. Skyward bow can go a little higher because Child actually does use it, but short of that, nobody wants these things. Skyward spear here, the spine. Is it the spine? Or is that the spine? I don't know. Whatever it is, the Skyward spear, maybe Sino, but there's better. That's why. Star signs, energy. It's more versatile than Electro Res. I'm gonna put it C. It's not the best in the world. It's not the worst in the world. It's probably right there. The energy again is not. Mualani looks so gorgeous in TCG. Yeah, is she jank like she is in the main game? Because she's pretty jank in the main game. Okay, which I forget what this one's called, but I know what it does. Is this Stone in Contracts, I think? So you use 3 dice, and then next round you gain Omni. It's good for stall, but very, very rarely used because Leeway Res is not frequently used. I'm going to put it just above Lithic. Strategize. Strategize, I think, is still an A tier card. I'm going to say top A tier, in fact. There are better card draws for consistency, but if you need an instant cards for 1, boom, there you go. Strategize is good. The 0 cost heal, I missed, hold on. I missed old Sumeru City. Sumeru City has fallen off a lot. There are easier ways to reduce stuff. Yeah, I think it's maybe just above Rana. It's really fallen low, I think, sadly. Chicken. You feel like she could just take a Herald's place in some decks? What, Mualani? Oh, no. The Pot of Greed card? Yeah, the, whatchamabob. Strategize. 0 cost chicken. It's 0 cost. I'm putting it above hash browns just because it's 0 cost. Typically speaking, I like, you know, the other ones more, but 0 cost with Chef Mao, which if you're running a lot of food, you're going to run Mao. It makes a difference. You get dice. It's worth it. Speaking of worth it, skill buff. This plus Thunder Manifestation and Rosaria is busted as all God knows what. Yeah, that's A tier. That's a massive big, that's an insta-kill kind of a card there if you play it right. The skill buff is nuts. Tenchukaku, stall isn't really doing well. Tenchukaku, I think, is kind of on the out with it being C tier. Very low C tier. It was good with stall. It was good in certain Ito decks. It's not good anymore. The game's gone too aggro. Tenacity, actually really good. I still like Tenacity quite a bit. In terms of artifacts, I'm going to put it A or B. I'm going to put it low A. It's not bad, but it has fallen a little bit. It is low A. Egg. Egg is a solid. If you know how to use egg correctly, egg is solid B. If you know how to use it correctly and you have the right dice, like this with Hydro Res and Fontaine Res, and it's just like your opponent might as well just be like, great, character might will never have died. Unless he had equipment on, in which case, oops. The bell, not terrible. I'm going to put it better than sack weapons, but excuse you, I said better than sack weapons. Bow, know your place. I'm not going to put it past C. It has its values and can be good on certain characters. Dea can theoretically use it, though. Why would you? Dory, I think, makes probably one of the best uses of it. You know, I've seen things like that. So, it can be useful. Bestest. Still high up there in terms of being a good card. Arguably A to S tier still. I mean, it's an old faithful. Yes, Yoinky Sploink can steal it pretty easily, but still. Never used egg before. No one dies on your watch. Oh, we that good. No card left behind. A. Legend of Vanessa. Takes 3 of the same cost cards and creates 4 randoms. It is good with OTK decks. It's also good with Lieben. If you know what you're doing, this is a solid low A card. If you don't know what you're doing, you might as well just not use it because you're going to sabotage yourself. This card, Inazuma Resonance. I'm going to be honest, it requires Inazuma Resonance, but it's really good. If you have Inazuma characters, you're running this. It's a better bestest. Like, it is that strong. Just every card's on every die rather is Omni. Every card's Omni. That'd be great. Yeah, you just have every card in the game. Okay, we know what we think about these cards. They're nothing special. Electro especially is gonna be really low on the list because it's Electro. We can even put its other one there. Okay, is this Vermilion? Is this Vermilion thereafter, or is this the other one? I think this is the cheaper cost one, because I think Vermilion thereafter is lower down on the list somewhere, and also has extra effects on it. I can't find it, though, in this mess of cards. This just is, yeah, there it is, right there. Normal attack. I don't think this is amazing. I'm going to put it down here. The 3 cost one, I'm actually going to move around a little bit. I think this is... I still think this is honestly not that great. Like, it makes the... it does like plunging attacks, right? Do +1 or something and cost less, if I remember. But outside, well, maybe it's good for Shao. This is not a bad for the Shao Albedo Venti deck. So I'll push it up to where this card is. I'll keep them consistent. Because there is a deck that can utilize that. Timaeus. Timaeus has seen massive growth this year. Timaeus, if you're running artifacts, you might be running Timaeus. Timaeus has really, really popped off to high B, low A, but I think probably, I would say... Yeah, probably A. Like, he used to just be not used much at all, but now that he can draw artifacts for you, too, he's a good one to put into. He definitely is. Herald Hydro application outclasses Mualani, needs a deck built around her. Great. I'm sure people come up with broken things. Timmy's a bit slow, but he's not bad. I still think Timmy is alright. I'm going to put him there in B rank. Toss-up. I used to have very low opinions of Toss-up. I am still not super, super into Toss-up, comparatively to some other cards, but it definitely has its uses. It's 0 cost. You get to roll twice, as where if you just place this down in a round, you only get to roll once until the next round. It has value. It does unfortunately reveal to your opponent that your hand sucks, or your dice suck. But they might not afterwards, so who knows? Traveler's a lucky sword. Again, I'm putting this with the catalyst stuff. It's quick, 1 damage for 2. Can be paired initially with Wagner, which we haven't gotten to yet. But then you lose to stacks. It's kind of a hit or miss. Traveling Dr. Handkerchief here. It has some value, maybe. Very, very slightly. I don't see it much. You're going to pull for Mavika. Good luck. What else we got here? Sealy. Sealy is definitely up there as being... A or S rank. I'd argue S rank card draw. Sealy is kind of staple of S rank card drawing, or just kind of your staple of card drawing in general. So, yeah, it's kind of the starting point for card draw engines. Tubby, I'm sorry. I want to like you, Tubby, but you are just so not worth it. Like, so hard, you're not worth it. If you function the same way that Timaeus functioned, you'd be worth it. But you're not. So, you're not worth it. Vonarana. I have said before, without Vonarana and Lieben in a deck, I tend to feel naked. Vonarana is S tier for me. You can't convince me otherwise. Vonarana is just that good. Like, you need them in some capacity, Vonarana and Lieben, because you never know when you just need extra dice and when the dice aren't going to work for you. I'm going to put the... Actually, I'm going to move the Animo Res guys up above that. I'm going to remove... Yeah, I'll just leave there. It's no big deal. Vortex Vanquisher. Very situational C weapon. If you have Zhongli, if you have Candace, good. If you don't, die. Wagner. Up here with Timaeus, I'd say. Maybe a little lower than Timaeus. No, I'd put him up there. I'm going to put him just behind Timaeus because artifacts are more versatile. But Timaeus. Also, I just realized Steam is showing things. Whoops. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. Get out of here, Steam. What else do we have? I'm kind of losing stuff in skill cards. Wangshu In. I think this is a little lower than Watatsumi because it's not active. It could be useful, but it's not your active character at standby. It's still a good healing card, though. It's not terrible. Crane returns. Very situational. It's not bad, but it's very situational. I'm going to put it low C. +7 summons for Yai and 2 actions. Oh. I don't want to hear you out. That sounds awful. That sounds like it's beyond... That literally, again, it sounds like we're about to get Guardian's Oath back into play. This is the 2-cost weapon. Put it there. There are better claymores. There are better spears, obviously. Winds of Freedom. Literal trash. This card shows up in, like, one deck. So I'm going to put it actually up here. It shows up in one deck, pretty much. And that's the deck with... Kazuha and not Kazuha. That's the deck with Albedo, Venti, and Shao. That's it. Okay, we know these artifacts weak. Wolf's Grave. Oh, we're not at Wolf's Gravestone. We're at this, which is still weak. Where's the other one? I know Hydro was around here somewhere. No, you're going before that. There you go. Wolf's Gravestone. Now we're here. Wolf's Gravestone is still a very strong weapon for your Claymore, fellas. I'm going to put it right here above Tenacity. It's still good. Eula with it is just disgusting with Rosaria decks. Zedong is very situational. I think Zedong is down here probably a little above Liu Su. Wouldn't it be cool if we got Consecrated Tiger and part of his kit ambushes, summons, and destroys them? That'd be nice. I'd love 4 ways to destroy summons, or more ways. +2 Mona shields in 1 move. Ooh. That is an interesting thing. +2 Baron Bunnies. Amber might be seeing a use again. Yeah, that could be interesting indeed. Where are we? Okay, the Amethyst one, right? There's only one of these cards, right? Or no, there's two? Yeah, there's two. This one gives you random die, yeah? This one is Omni, I think. Either way, I think these are not terrible. I think both of them are probably C tier. Because you do need Dendro, but they can be useful C tier. So I'm going to put them both above what I had before for the C tiers. Where are we at? Atea. You need techniques, and I think Atea will become better later on. Right now, I think she's low C tier. I think you can use her in technique-based decks, but we just don't have enough techniques to make a technique-based deck. +2 Baron Bunny for double damage reduction or delay explosion. Yeah, things like that you could do. How long did the whatchamabobs stay down? Do the springs stay down for? Apex broken summons. Yeah, I hate these. These are counted as a card, and I hate them because they're busted, and I don't like them. Yeah, if you're playing APEP, there you go. It's S. I hate that card. This is when you take damage after using a skill or something, your attacks become stronger. I think this is situational, like very situational. So it's going in C. Bone Crusher. I think Bone Crusher is good in specific discard decks. I think Bone Crusher is a solid B. You don't need it for APEP decks and discard decks, but it's strong. Spring's location has 3 uses. So it's uses, not turns or rounds, or how does it work? Okay. Cash flow. Cash flow is going to reduce cost of things and increase damage, and it's based off of healing, right? I actually kind of want to look this up for a minute. Just to remember, cash flow supervision here. So, takes damage or is healed. The character's next normal attack of this round costs 1 less, and then element, and then deals +1 damage twice per round. So, cash flow, again, it's a Risley Neuvillette kind of a thing. It's situational, but I would say it's a good B situational. I would put it probably in front of 1,000 Dreams right now. Especially since it's 2 cost. The laboratories, where if you discard things or tune things, you suddenly start gaining dice and stuff. Yeah, this is a very strong card in the right hands. I would say it's a solid A rank. It's a little less versatile maybe than Vanessa, or maybe it's more versatile. Yeah, I'd put it a good A rank. Okay, this is... Which is this one? I kind of forgot which one this is. This Troops? Spring's usage goes down only when a summon comes into play. Huh. Which one is this one? I forget which artifact that is. That's Conductors. Okay. Let me double check what Conductors does. Because I kind of forgot. Conductor's top hat. Which one is this? Is this the discard one when you changed them? After you switch to the character with this attached, discard the card with the highest original cost in your hand and change 2 elemental dice into Omni element and spend 1 less elemental die the next time the character uses a skill or plays a talent once per round. So this can be useful for sure. Again, it's mostly going to be useful with discard decks. I would put it as... I'm going to go solid B. Good for dice fixing. Yeah, it is not bad at all for that kind of a deck. Okay, we're going to get some Trails music. We're really mixing it up with our music here. Trails of Cold Steel music specifically. Directional Blast, I think, is not... Excuse you, I said not bad. I don't think it's going to be as good as Send Off, though. Okay, this music I know is going to start getting loud. There. It's going to be... It's going to be rough. Countdown to the Show, S tier. 100% at... excuse you, Countdown to the Show, where did you go? You are not C tier, how dare you. You are S tier. Yeah, this is a very strong card in that even if you hard cast it at 3, which is not what the devs intended, but they should have, you hard cast it at 3 cost, it draws you 4 cards and then omnis the rest of the dice in your hand. Like, this card is just an insane value, even again at full cost. And if you play it into discard decks and you can reduce its cost, even stronger. Like, it's just that good of a card. It is a card that you could argue can be in almost every deck, if not every single deck. Good card draw, dice rigging for the rest. It's a good round 1 opener to prep for round 2. If you have something like Vonarana or Lieben to go with it, it's good. This isn't Crown of Watatsumi, is it? This is the little one. The little one is weak. I don't really like the little one because it doesn't give you any healing. It is cheaper, but I just don't think that... I'm going to put it, like, again, C tier. I don't think that it's amazing. Honestly, I don't even think that Crown of Watatsumi, the actual big one, is all that great either. So I'm going to move that to C as well. Not C, D. It says upper D. It's just not that great. Maybe with squeegee decks and maidens you can make it work, but even then you have to constantly keep refreshing it. It's really just kind of eh. Conductor's effect dice rotation carries over rounds, like Leave It to Me. Or dice reduction. Oh, that's cool. That makes it quite useful. Oh, Navia Shrapnel BS, which I just lost again. Where'd you go? This is very hard to scroll up like this. Yeah, this is busted. I hate this card for passion. This is over here with APEP. In fact, it's better than APEP. The fact that you can just pierce, or not pierce, it's, just do normal attack damage, just physical damage for just, like, 1 and then just keep going. They needed to nerf that. Reduce 1 damage for 4 times, 0 cost. This arcane, like most of the arcanes, is A. I think it is very good. You just have to know how to use it. It's good defense. This card is this is the big one, isn't it? Yeah. This one, when you use normal attacks, it draws a card, and when you use skills, it creates a die. This one's a good card. It just costs a little bit. It's a bit costly, but it's not a bad card. I'd say it's like a B tier artifact right there. Its lesser version, which is normal attacks, just draw cards. Not bad in and of itself either. I think it's like a really high C. There's an argument that they can be reversed too, honestly, because this is cheaper, whereas this one's a 3. This one's, I think, a 2. So, arguments there to reverse them. This one, I don't see people use this. You can't be frozen or, like, moved or stuff. Basically, this is anti-disruption. I really don't see people use this card very much. I actually think this is maybe an arcane card that is on the lower end of things, perhaps. Yeah, I'm going to argue this is a lower end arcane card. It's just not used very much. Where are we at? Fishbow. So this is based on how many cards that you play that were not originally in your deck. You start playing, and then your damage starts increasing afterwards, and then it eventually goes back down. This is... I'm going to say it's a low C weapon. It's maybe a bit above these things, but it's... I don't know. I think it's too situational. It doesn't have any innate damage with it, so you play it for 2, and then if you don't get any of the special cards that you've created in your deck and play them, it never gets any damage bonus at all. It's just not my kind of a cup of tea. This is fish and chips. This is all the skills cost 1 less now. Yeah. I don't see people use this food that much. I'm going to put it around here, sashimi. I don't think it's that amazing. Definitely not up there with the rest of the foods. Where are we? Okay. Tea time. If you are playing decks with resonance, tea time is very strong. I would say it's an A tier card. Arguably, higher A, maybe like up here. It depends on the kind of cards that you're playing. But it's an A tier card for sure. You get to get a bunch of random stuff. It's pretty good. Falls in Fortune. I love this card. It is hard to use. You can end up screwing yourself more than not. I think it's about a C tier. If you know how to use it, it can be very strong and ruin your opponent's life. If you don't know how to use it, it can be very strong and ruin your life. Yay. Where are we at? Clovers. So, end of round, you teleport back to your, whoever you have this attached, every end of round. Honestly, if I'm gonna be, it's D tier. I like it. I think it's a tricky card, but it's very D tier. Flicker, swap into Golden Troop after you end phase off field. Yeah, like, you could do that, but then what if your opponent's running a bunch of summons and you don't want that card to get hit by them? Like, it's so... The fact that you can't get it off or do anything like that makes it a very high-risk card to put there. I do know that it isn't half bad with Seahorse, but the problem is it doesn't trigger Seahorse's special effect that when you end on Seahorse, it draws you a card. Because this only happens after you enter end phase. Where are we at? This is the Bond of Life book, right? I forget the name of it, but this is the Bond of Life book, I'm pretty sure. Unless there's another Bond of Life book that I'm looking at, and I don't think... Unless this one is... No, this is Nouvelette's book. We'll come back to that one. This is the Bond of Life book. I think that this book is... I haven't done enough testing with it. I'm going to put it as a solid C. If opponent ends first, then Flicker will trigger after summons. Well, that's garbage. Maybe not garbage, but it's definitely not great. The Bond of Life book just needs more Bond of Life in the game right now, and it needs more... How do I put it? It needs more oomph. It needs more testing and working. But I do think it has potential. Desherit's your troll card. I think this card can be very annoying to deal with. I'm going to put it A. If you end up drawing it, oops on you. If your opponent ends up drawing it, lol. What does this card do again? This is Forest Regalia, right? Hold up. That's Forest Regalia, I think, right? That's F right here, I believe. Forest Regalia, yeah, that's what that is. Plus one, when the character, which is attack uses a normal attack during the next round, create 2 elemental dice of this character's type. And Claymores can quit this. It wants to be the other thing, the sword version, so bad, but like nobody really wants that. I don't think it's a terrible card, but I'm gonna put it at C. Maripede. Maripede is a very, very annoying card to work with. I am going to say that this is a classic B tier or A tier card, low A tier. This card ruins things for your opponent, can really mess them up. So it is a very good card. Speaking of messing your opponent up, Fresh Winds of Freedom is definitely an A tier card. If you are running aggressive decks, ladies and gentlemen, run at it. Do it. Like you could throw that in there and it can be good. Gandharvaville. I talked about how earlier today this is all right with Risley. Outside of being all right with Risley, though, very low, very low. C or D. It's really not all that amazing. It can be good with like Liebens if you have one less Lieben left. Is this gilded and not sand? Yeah, this is gilded. Gilded is 100% an A tier artifact. Arguably even, well, it's kind of gotten a bit of a nerf. I'm going to put it high A tier or A tier here for the other artifact. Again, that plus Liar Song is obviously such a busted combo. Gladiator. I forget what that thing does. That's if you have one or less cards, I think, in your hand, you do your normal attacks, take one less. I think Gladiator's Triumph. Hello, Timmy. Welcome. When the character uses a normal attack, yes, spend one less elemental die if you have no more than 2 cards in your hand. Could be an interesting combo with Yoinky Sploink, actually. But I do think this isn't bad with Linny. This isn't bad as a Linny opener. I think it's a B tier artifact. I would put it relatively B tier. I think it's a decent Linny opener. I can't think of many other characters who would want to open with it, because if you do like Linny and like Yoinky Sploink and stuff, you can work it really well. It's like 3 a.m. for you. Crazy. Welcome to the new year. Are you polling? No, I'm tier listing. I have 0 interest in the characters. Like, at first, I was interested in Sitlali, and then I'm like, no, they kind of ooh a fighter, and I don't like that. I wanted Angry Grandma. So yeah. Increase max HP by 1. This card is kind of... Honestly, I think it might be... I don't even know if I'd call it C tier food. This is just kind of low. Like, I don't know why you would want to use this. I'd call it low D tier. Or, like, a high D tier food. Okay, we've got Golden House. So, 3 or more cost to a weapon or artifact reduces the cost by 1 to make it 2. This used to be the staple of reduction in terms of costs. I think it's still all right, but you have Master Zhang if you're going to do something, which even then doesn't really matter. You have Wagner and Timaeus combined together to make this kind of obsolete. You can run like one of them in a deck and it's still all right, but that's about it. So I think it's a C card now. These 2 cards, right? They're troop cards. Both of these are definitely high up on the list. I would put them both as a very high... I'd put them both as A artifacts. 100% A artifacts. S is a bit tricky because of 2 different reasons, right? So, the reason why I wouldn't necessarily do S, this one, even though it costs 0 and is a good round 1, it's a bit slow. This one costs 2, is much faster, but again, costs 2. So it's a little weird round 1 to use them. Or ideally, this one, though, is really strong. In fact, I'd actually put the 0 cost one ahead of the 2 cost one. Just because, again, it's 0 and then you're just reducing. You're getting instant value back next round. It's very good. Speaking of very good, your Vurakasha and other one, I forget. I'm going to take both of these and start moving them up there. These ones, I will argue, are S tier. These artifacts 100% get value back for you. Like, they are up there with gamblers. They will get you your value when you use them. Definitely see it. Honestly, it's back or forth as to which one you think is better. I'm going to put this one higher than Verkasha because it's 0. Doesn't heal, but still. But it's still very strong. Where are we? What does this thing do again? This is one of those technique cards, and I forget what this is. What is this thing? The little like owl looking thing. What does this thing do again? I forget. I forget what it's called to look it up too. It's one of those stupid Saurus cards, but I forget which one. It's not the Q one, is it? It's not Quackosaurus. No, because it's Quicken It. Quackosaurus isn't out yet. Heals 1 HP and gives 1 card. Okay, heals 1 HP, gives 1 card. Technique, that's not bad. I don't disagree with that. I think it's probably the cost is what probably makes it a bit rough. I'm gonna say it's a solid B. Can choose from food or location or item. Okay. You know, I'm gonna say solid B tier. Solid B. I think that's not bad. I forget what it does. In every house, a stove is not D tier. What? A solid house. In every house, a stove is solid A. Same with a lot of the other arcanes, but definitely A. I'd put it actually maybe as the top A. Wait, why did I do that? Like top A, I think is where I'd put it. It is really good. Jet. Thank God. Bottom of the barrel. We don't jet anymore. Jet is gone. Whew. Breathe a sigh of relief. That thing is dead. Joyous Celebration. Again, I think it's A tier. Like a lot of these arcane cards, it's very tricky to use. Well, no, not a lot of them. A lot of them aren't tricky to use, but it is tricky to use. But like a lot of them, it's A rank because it does have high value. If you can pull that off, you can save yourself a lot of trouble. So I definitely recommend trying it and learning to use it. It's tricky, but it's manageable. Oh, the bow. Okay. Squire bow. Honestly, like S tier weapon, perhaps. No, A tier. I'm gonna put the weapon A tier still. Above Wolf's Gravestone, though. This thing is just so high value for any bow. Lenny makes good value out of it because you could use his skill card, which gets his normal attack out, or you could use his actual skill, which is going to potentially do heal and big damage. But this card is very good with Lenny. It's good with Kale. It's good with a lot of different bow characters. I'm trying to think of who else you'd use. Even Farzan, probably. It's really good. Tainari as well. Very good. Spirit Ways is... What does this do again? I forget what Spirit Ways does. Saurian Dime, buddy. Where is it? Spirit Serpent, Spirit Omen. Wait, it's not called Spirit Way, is it? What is it called? I hate how these whatever Dumbosaurus cards are called dumb things. I forget what this is and what this does exactly. Is this this isn't the shield one, is it? No, the shield one is down. I know which one's the shield one. This one's the shield one. Does this one trigger a summon? Once one round, pick a summon and trigger the phase. Yeah, okay. This is trigger summon. I think, especially with what's going to be happening with Shark and everything, I think this is going to be a high B, maybe even A. I think this is going to be a really, really annoying card to be dealing with. Kuisava, it kills your cards. This card is potentially massive self-sabotage. It's C rank. You can use it well, awesome. If not, die. This is Big Bubble. So we got the squeegee bubbles, right? We got Big Bubble, there's Medium Bubble. Where's Little Bubble? Let's just look at all the bubbles together. There's Little Bubble. I think all of the bubbles are good. Again, heals, I would say they're all pretty A tier, honestly. I like them. I think Squeegee herself is... Squeegee herself is certainly a bit of a jank card, but her bubbles, you can't deny, are good. The 2 Hydro from the Medium Bubble is very nice. The overall heal from the small and big bubbles are very good. I think, again, you can't go wrong with her bubbles. It's just you can go wrong with Squeegee herself. Where are we? Okay, Light Incision. This is... Normal attacks keep giving you, like, 1 die, I think. Let me look up. Is it the L? I love Trails music. Light of Foliar Incision. Okay. So, after the character uses a normal attack, create 1 random elemental die. Can trigger twice per round. It's obviously an Alhaitham build thing. It's kind of useless outside of Haitham. I'm going to put it C tier. This is Skyward Atlas, right? Not Skyward Atlas. This is Prayer. Lost Prayer. Hold on. Let me... Oh, it's going to be down here, isn't it? Where are you? Lost Prayer of Sacred Winds. This one is... I haven't used this one much. For each point of bonus damage this card has, character deals 1 damage. Okay, end phase. This card gains a point of bonus damage, max of 2. So, basically, if you get this round 1, you can just have a character who just does +2 damage. That's not terrible if you get it round 1. If you get it late, it's kind of useless. I'm going to say it's a solid C weapon. Because it's again, if you get it late, it's useless. If it's round 1, awesome. Any round after that, you're probably too late already. Lumen Stone, Adjuvant. This used to be extremely busted, especially with the Undersea Treasure Hunt. I would still argue that it's a pretty strong card. Probably, I would say low A rank. I would still argue it's very strong. Liar Song. Liar Song, still very strong. It's gotten a nerf, but I would still argue it is strong with, again, Gilded. Still very good card. The Machine Assembly line. So whenever you take damage or heal, I believe, too, you gain a stack of this. When you get 2, whatever weapon or equipment cards you place, up to 2 will be subtract 2. So essentially, you can get a 2 cost to be free. I wish it weren't restricted to 2. L for Lumenstone? Nah, I think Lumenstone is great still. It's not as good as it was because you need to be able to play a lot of cards. But again, it still works with Undersea Treasure Hunt, and that card is still, I think, good. This card, however, I think is just too weak. It's too... There's just better ways. It's a shame the weapons don't play into it well enough. Assembly line is just kind of, unfortunately. Maidens. Maidens, I think, is going to see a place. I think Maidens is going to end up being a B tier artifact in the end. I think right now it's a little on the... But it will get there. I think it's going to push through it. I think that the card has potential. Mimir, the Melu meme herself, I still think this is A. You guys can fight me. I think this card just has so much dumb value for being stupid and actually can pair very well into this because if you get a random crap card, just tune it, boom, you trigger the laboratory. Like, Mimir is not bad at all. Marchese Hunter, this is another A-rank artifact given certain contexts, up there with Gilded. Healing, damage, You start drawing cards, you start creating dice, you do it 4 times or 3 times. It's great. It's really good. Machitake meat rolls. Finally, we get our very strong A rank healing here. I think that and the macarons, we can grab those just right away. These are A rank healing foods for sure. I'd almost argue the macarons are better. I think they are. Macarons, I think you can argue is S rank. They are just that good. I'm going to make an argument for them. You take damage and then heal it. It's such a fort the enemy situation. The magical Melumeme abilities. Now, there's like 17 different of them, but they all look the same in their card. I think the Melumeme abilities are good B ranks. They can be good with... Actually, you know what? Screw it. If I'm going to put Mimir there and Mimir's random, Melumeme abilities. Why not? You get bad cards from them, doing them. They're fun. I like the Melumeme abilities from Serene. That being said, let's take Serene. Let's put Serene on up there. Serene. Boom. Up there from Mimir. I think Serene is good. A little bit expensive, but the things you can do with Serene are good. The lens. What is this? Weapons, artifacts. So it's equipment, locations, and like companions and stuff like that. Like equipment and support cards, essentially, that you've played before. You can play again for subtract 2. And this is a 1 cost. I don't see this very much. I think it's a low B, really. I would put it low B. It has potential in decks that use it a lot, but Memento Lens is not that great. Memento Lens is too RNG reliant. Draw both of the same card for discount. Yeah, it would actually be good with Kave. Because you have like copies of things potentially and cheap free cost for placing it. Kave I think it would be good with, but that's about it. So this is the Technique card from the Hydro Churl. I think this card is jank. It's very low C tier. You can immobilize the opponent, but it's delayed. It's C tier jank. Moonpiercer Spear. Skill cards. This is basically Squire, but for spears. So wherever Squire is, which I think is A rank, this is there. I think Squire is better because a lot of the bow characters need it more than the spears, but still very strong. Very good. Opera Epicles. Straight to S rank. This card, ever since it came out, is in like so many decks. If you run any kind of equipment skill cards, just drop it. Just do it. It is very strong. How many cards are left? We're making good progress. I haven't gone through any of the skill cards, but we're getting towards the bottom here. I would say we have probably another 30, 40 minutes maybe. Because then we have to go through the skill cards, and I'm going to be real with you. I don't recognize a lot of them. I don't remember them, so that's going to be a bit rough. Chev's Bullet here does, what, 2 Pyro? But then ends your turn? I'm going to say B. It's not bad. It can be useful, but it costs 2. If you discard it, though, it's not bad. I'm going to say it's B. Pencration. Pencration, low C. You can use it to be a meme, but it's very low C. Okay. Passing of Judgment. This is a tax 1. This is like the low of lows for arcane cards. Honestly, I think low of lows for arcane cards because you have Maripede. This one gets misplayed a lot. Actually, I think the only one that is lower is going to be the Energy Drain one. The Energy Drain arcane card, which I just dropped in Narnia. I would actually put that potentially as a B rank arcane. But I just don't think it's as good as some of the others because it's just one. Choop. It's not that great. Pencration with Mausoleum. Let me draw or brick opponent hand. Exactly. That's the Mausoleum and Pencration. That's why. It's one of the reasons why it's here. And you can even force it with like cards like this, but nobody really runs this. This is also Mausoleum. I really want to mess around with Squeegee and just do like Mausoleum into Squeegee, and like the opponent just draws. Their entire this entire draw is just decked with Mausoleum stuff, and then they just get hit by Squeege, and it's just like, yeah, you're just gonna, I'm just gonna ruin your whole deck. Like I want that kind of a tax. Okay, this is what is this, portable saw or something? I think it's called. Let me scroll back on up. I think this portable saw or something like that. This is a discard one. You get hit, you discard or something like that. Portable power saw. Yeah, portable power saw. So when the character which is attached takes damage, if possible, discard one card from your hand for the highest original blah, 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 and negate one damage. So this is basically like the drill, but for claymores. And then gain one stoic symbol. Yeah, when the character deals damage, if there are stoic symbol points already, consume all the points and increase damage dealt this instance by 1. Then draw a card for each point consumed. And you can just build infinitely. So yeah, it's a 2 cost. This is very good with Sinyan. I think it's a good, like, probably B tier weapon. It's not bad at all. It can be very strong. Jade Spear. Use skill, get normal attack damage, essentially. Good with Xiao. It used to be busted beyond belief with Yunjin until she got nerfed into Oblivion. Now it's just kind of there. C tier. Drill. Same thing, I think, as actually, did I put that in C tier? Yeah, wait, yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah, I'm gonna think Drill actually is also C tier. It's not as good as this, as the Saw, just because it doesn't have a Sinyan. It doesn't have a character that desperately wants it, other than maybe Shev. Shev wants it, but Shev doesn't want it that bad. What do we got? Oh, this spear. Take damage or heal, I believe, and then you start gaining energy, and then you start also doing 2+ burst damage. This thing is nuts. This is actually like an A tier weapon right there. Play Pancration after Mausoleum gets 2 stacks. Yep, when opponent draws 4 cards at end phase, it'll create 4 bricks, messing up their late game. Yeah, exactly. You want to really mess with the opponent in the long run. It is a fun one to play. I like Pancration. I like messing with them. I like Mausoleum, messing with them with that. It's fun. Oh god, this is where we go. We have so many skill cards. This is Sapwood. What is Sapwood again? I mix up Sapwood and Incision quite frequently. What they do, because they're similar, so I tend to mess them up. Where is Sapwood? Sapwood Blade. Character does, when the character to which is attached uses a normal attack. This is only just when played. Create 2. Yeah, this is just the when played, whereas the other one is not. Honestly, going in the same spot here. Oops. Saurian Tea Time. This gives you +2 techniques, if I remember. I think this is going to have more value later on. Right now, I gotta say, I kind of have to put it in the same spot as Quicknet. Like, I think later on this is gonna get more value, but right now it's just kind of low. This is the Crackers, which gives you, this makes techniques cost 1 less. Not bad. Again, most of them aren't too expensive anyways. I'm gonna put it C. Farina's swap ability. Here's the fun thing of this. It's good, the tune. If you need a tune, boop, tune it. Else, you know, and it's also, it counts as, there's a, oh god, there is a card or a weapon. I'm forgetting what it is. No, it's one of the techniques where if you have a card that is not originally in your deck in your hand, yeah, it's the one where you draw cards and you get a shield, right? You'll get a shield and you'll draw cards, and I forget which part of it is, whether or not it's the draw cards or if it's the get the shield part. I think it's the get the shield part that you'll get if you have a card in your hand that wasn't originally your deck. This card innately triggers that, so you can just always keep it in your hand. Because of that alone, this card is B tier. Because that can be an interesting synergy. Seed Dispensary. This card used to be busted. It's not as busted now. I would say it's a good B tier. Song's really good, by the way. Sarai Island. Low C. Low C. It's situational. Fun with Wolf can get you killed. Satari. Low B. Very good with APEP. Good with discard decks. About it. You know, no. No, actually, no, because it's too inconsistent. That's a C. Satari's a C. It's too inconsistent. Shadow King. This artifact is just good for straight card drawing. Play it, draw a card, get a reaction, draw a card. Good B tier artifact. Very cheap, 1 cost. It's good with Timaeus. It's all around a very good one. Our 2 dead guys, Silver and Malus. Spoilers for an Archon quest over a year ago. There's better card draw out there. There's better card draw out there. That's all I can really say. Like, it does get you a lot of card draw. It can. You can draw 3 cards instantly if you have it, basically. But there's this better card draw. Also, this music is amazing. I'm going to put it right here between Zhang and Atea. Because there's better in the long run. There's quicker in the long run. This requires... It requires you to have 3 different elements hit the opponent. Not often that's gonna happen. King Arthur. What? Sir Arthur, rather. He ain't king yet. He ain't there. This is... You discard 2 cards or tune 2 cards, and you just start taking cards from your opponent's deck. And both copying them. You don't steal them. I feel like in certain situations this isn't bad. I would say it's mid-C. Very situational. Farina's... No, we're not at Farina's weapon yet. We've got the 2 technique cards. We have the Aramite Dendro 1 technique card, which again, I think just shoots off one Dendro. Song is so good. I don't know. This is kind of weak to me. It's pretty cheap though, so I would put it as like a low C maybe. It's not amazing, but there's better. Then you have the Pyro Eremites. This one can just straight nuke enemies, but you need to build it up stacks. I would say this is probably low B or mid B. Now I'm going to put it up there with the rest of the techniques of B. It's B. Silver Malus can see some use with Fatui or Abyss summons. Yes, it can. Fatui summons with Silver Malus, ironically, is pretty good. Interestingly enough, physical damage does not count for that. That's unfortunate, or it would be a lot more valuable, I think. Especially, ironically, with Navia. Farina's weapon. This thing is actually really strong in the right hands. I would say, again, it's a good, solid A-rank weapon. If you pair it with things that require back and forth healing and stuff, very good. the stadium. Use a technique, use a skill, you start gaining, I think, healing. And I think you draw a card at one point. And in the end, you get 2 rounds of +1 damage, but it takes like 6 usage. It's not completely garbage, is all I'm going to say. I'm going to put it at B. It has its value. It's just a little jank. It takes a while. And it's hard to trigger. This one, the dancing one, where you need to have essentially play more cards that weren't originally in your deck than your opponent does. And you can start guaranteeing dice go the way you want. Depends on the deck, honestly, is what I would put. This really depends on the deck. I'm going to say it's low C. It's very low C. I think it's too dependent on the deck. And your opponent can easily just kind of screw you out of it. I don't remember what this does. I just remember its name is like Star something. Because I remember looking at it when I... Star Wicker. Yeah, when I was putting it in here, I'm like, what even is this? Because I just don't use, what's-her-face? Big Bird too much. Adaptive Resistance. Heal the attached character for 2 HP. The next time the character uses a normal attack, it is considered as a plunging attack. Damage +1. Also, after the skill finalizes, it deal 1 animo damage. Okay. Not bad. You can do some crazy swirls, I feel, with this. How many uses does this thing have? Because I just haven't used it much. Uses 2. Not, I don't think this is too bad technique-wise. I think this is probably a good A technique, honestly. It can be pretty useful there, I'd say. I'm going to put it up there above the squeegee bubbles. Oh lord. Okay. Storm Terror's Lair. Used to be so good. This used to be the best card, man. Storm Terrors. Now it's probably a good B rank. It's not amazing, but you can use it for some stuff. It's fallen a little bit from grace. There's better now. Sayuta's Flowers here. I'm going to say C. It can be used with some of the stuff where you're, like, using cards that weren't originally in your deck, or it can be used with tuning stuff with, where is it? The, laboratory. But it used to be mostly for, whatchamabob, for Jet. Not anymore, because Jet's done. Tada's actually really good. Deal 1 damage to yourself, but then at the end, you draw a card. Actually, I would say pretty good in a lot of decks. I would say it's a good A rank. Tep stage could work with Serene and or Consecrated decks. Yes, Tep can work with Melumeme, Serene, Consecrated. It can work, but again, if your opponent's running something, say, for example, like Underwater Treasure Hunt, they can kind of mess you up out of it. Speaking of this, I was just wondering, speaking of it in my head, Dog. Listen. Dog's card? The actual, like, treasure? Bro, free Omni die. Yeah. Top tier. Like, what are you gonna do? It's a free Omni die. Like, yeah. Dog itself? Nah. I'm gonna say C. In fact, I'm gonna put him a little up here. I'm gonna put him above Master Zhang. C rank. Bit expensive, takes a while to get the stuff. Boar Princess. Wait, no, not Boar Princess. We aren't there yet. We missed one. This one. This one is very good again with Farina's card, or with Farina. Because you get the draw and get a shield if you have cards in your hand that weren't originally in your deck. This, I, again, would put up here in B rank with our, Honestly, hold on. This is just... I mean, it is card draw. It's basically free card draw. So, yeah. This is just... a free card draw is kind of just A. Well, it's a bit expensive, too. but it's a repeatable card draw, so I'm still putting it as an A rank. This one isn't half bad. Boar Princess. Very good card. I think if you're playing the right things, this is another A rank card up here with I Haven't Lost Yet. These are kind of the cards for reverse sweep. Deshret. Good, fun card, but admittedly not really well run. I'm gonna say low C. It's fun tax, but not amazing. White Glove and the Fisherman. Literally S tier. This is actually a great card. It gives you potential card draw at the end. It gives you damage buff. You combine it with something like, what's its face? Or what's her face? Rosaria. Extremely OP. This is Nouvelette's, which this is like another healing and you get damage. I forget what that one's called, but it's like heal and get damage and is good. But I forget what it does. What is this thing called? It's Nouvelette's weapon, but I forget what it's called. Hold on, I can look at equipment cards specifically and then try to find it here, but I don't remember what Nouvelette's weapon is called because it's been a while. I can try to find it here. Tome of Eternal something. Okay, so we're talking T. Are we sure? Am I blind? Thundering. Oh, Tome of Eternal Flow. There you go. I am blind. Thank you. Character deals plus after this character takes damage or is healed. If this character has already been damaged or healed 2 times this round, bro, what? Then this character's next attack this round deals +2 additional damage once per round. This is, again, it's Nouvelette's, but it's kind of weird because you got to get back and forth healed or damaged. So you basically have to damage and then heal. It works a little bit with Nouvelette. I kind of prefer Cash Flow personally. That's just me. I think this is also more expensive than Cash Flow too. Where did I put Cash Flow? I put Cash Flow B. I think this is probably a C rank. I'd put C rank. I think Cash Flow is better. Oops, went too far. We're close to the end here. This one, I definitely don't remember what this thing is called. Doesn't it start with a P? The bell for what's his face? I swear that one starts with a P. It definitely doesn't start with a P because I'm not seeing the image. What is the bell for freaking Wanderer? What is that thing called? It's T, not P. Okay, thank you. Again, I don't remember what all of these do because some of them just aren't used that much. There it is. You are right under, guy. Thank you. You're the MVP here. +1 damage. When the character uses a charge attack, spend 1 less unaligned dice. It's not bad for Klee. It's a 3 cost, though. I don't think this really gets a whole lot of use. I feel like there's... Where did I just put it? Guys, I just dropped it somewhere. We dropped the bell somewhere. There it is. Yeah, I don't think this is all that amazing, honestly. I would honestly argue it's kind of a D tier. I think this is better for that. Like, why not just use Cash Flow? Again, costs less. You get damage. You get the thing, and all you have to do is take or heal. It's so easier. It's so much easier than that. I don't like that one. Surfing Buddies. This is... Doesn't just randomly trigger a summon? This is Surfing Buddies, right? Like, hold up. Surging. Am I dumb? I thought it was around here, unless I'm looking at the wrong thing. No, this is action cards. Is it not this called Surfing Buddies or something like that? Yeah, it's random. Okay, it's the same thing. I had the idea. Summon, a random summon. I think this is going to be eventually very strong. Especially with how summons are going to be. If you have, say, just Mualani's summon down, which apparently her summon is supposed to just be like bonk dead, I guess, from what you guys are saying, then I think this card is going to be very good. And probably like a B tier card right around being able to actually choose the summon. Oh yeah. Undersea Treasure, A tier. Heal, plus gives you die. Heal is once per round per character, but still is a heal, can play into various things. Undersea Treasure Hunt, I still, despite the twice it has been nerfed, I still think this is an A tier card. Even with the double nerf, it's still A tier in my book. It's still a very strong card. Veteran's Visage, S tier up there if Marchu's Hunter. It's just cheaper and it's actually Marchu's Hunter. Did I put Marchu's Hunter as A tier? I did. No, I think Veterans is S tier. I'm going to put Veterans S tier because it's cheaper. Marchu's Hunter is for very specific characters who will make use of the 3 uses here and get the 4 triggers to get all 3 value out of it, because you need to trigger it 4 times to get 3 value. This is just for general, I think, is very good. Veterans is very strong. Similarly, Fontaine Resonance, actually top tier healing. I would argue it is better than Hydro Res. Because it also damages and then heals, but you always get a net positive. So it can trigger Veterans, it can trigger this. It's such a good card. It is very, very, very worth it. Weeping Willow. I would say solid low A. If you use a lot of cards early on and need to replenish, solid low A card, I'd say. It is good. Unseen Razor. Not as good as Liar Song, but I do think it is a solid B card. Just because what you're using it on is not quite as versatile as Liar Song. But it's still very good. This is just due to physical, I believe. It's very good with Shenhe. It's actually good with Dvalin too. I would probably say, though, that it is on the lower end of the technique cards. I'd probably put it as a C tier. It's not bad, though. Nanatsuki Yayoi used to be very, very strong. She's kind of fallen by the wayside here. I don't think she's terrible. I would say she's low B. And then Yoinky Sploink. Yoinky Sploink, actually S tier. This card is such an abject pain in the ass. If you know how to play this thing correctly, or by know how to play it, I mean just open with it. If you open with this thing, you can just yoink critical skill cards. You can sit there and just be an absolute nuisance to the opponent and complete. I'm going to move it straight up here, right? Like, it's just going right there. The Yoinky Sploink is insane. It's called Yumpkasaurus, but I just call it Yoinky Sploink. Yoink Mausoleum plus Siege Wing. Let the man cook his own meme deck. Actually kind of funny. No, the best thing to yoink is like Nilu's skill card. And then you just watch the Nilu cry. Like, just yoink that. Or freaking, I did it. We had a video where I did this where I yoinked Wolf card. And then I yoinked Siege Wing's skill card. I took both of their skill cards and they had a second Wolf and managed to have that. But I yoinked both their skill cards and delayed the crap out of their ability to do stuff. Really, really, really silly card, Yoinky Sploink. I'm gonna be real. I do not want to rank these skill cards, guys. I really do not want to rank these skill cards because I don't remember what half of them are or what half of them do. Because I literally can't even tell you what some of them are. Like, I know this one's Linny's and is really good. This is like an A tier skill card. This is He's and is not really useful. Yenfei is not useful. Bennett is a must-have if you're playing Bennett. Sinos is whatever. Crossfire is not bad anymore because they lowered the cost. That's a Lictors, I think, which is useless. Culle's is really good. Like, that's about all. You can try to help with some. I might just skip them, honestly. We might skip these skill cards, guys, because look at this list already. We have so much here. You use Yoink to make the opponent angry. Yeah, Yoink is great. I'm going to try to just go the ones off of memory. Chiori's, right? This is Chiori's. I know this is Chiori's. Chiori's is S tier. Chiori's is very strong. I'm going to put it right here. Linny's. I know Linny's. Linny's is A tier. Very good skill card. I'm going to put it right around... I'm going to put it actually right there below that. I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just going off the ones that I know off the top of my head. Culle's is a bit expensive, but it is very strong. I'm going to say it is a B tier. And probably put it right around there. Use Yoink to make the... Oh, I just read that. Yeah, Yoink is great. I think I already said that. I'm going crazy, guys. Bennett's A tier. A tier up here for this. With Lenny's. What else? Barbara's is good. Barbara's is a solid A tier. Look at that. You can see strong Barbara. God, what else is useful here? What else do I remember? Oh, we have Kenki's. Is Kenki's getting buffed or anything? Because if not, Kenki's is kind of useless. Put Kenki in D. Let's see what else we have. I don't... Oh, Charlotte's. This is Charlotte's. Charlotte's is very much an A tier. A kind of necessary. Where's Wolf's? Because I know Wolf's is definitely up there. God, where is Wolf's? God, I can't tell. They all look the same. I wish this had, like, text on them to make my job much easier. No changes to Kenki. Yeah, that's D tier, then. That is abjectly useless. I don't know. I can't find where Wolf's is, where I would sit there and show you guys where I'd put that one. But that would be probably up there in A. I just can't find where it is. D-Luke's is... Nobody runs D-Luke anyways. Not really useful. There are just so many of these. This is why I don't want to go through them all. Is this... Oh, this is Hydrolectors. I know this one. Hydrolectors, S tier as well. Tax is amazing. Love Hydrolector in general. Where's Nilu's? I know I saw Nilu's. Nilu's is definitely useful. This is Nilu's. Nilu's is also A. Very important if you're playing Nilu Bloom. APEP. APEP is get your rear over here, APEP. APEP, please. See, even in card form, APEP is being difficult. Like, bro. APEP, S tier, does so much damage. What else do we need here? Klee's, I think, is very good for Klee. Klee is another A tier. Jeez. This is so hard to recognize these. This is Dea's. That's Cryo Cubes. There's Lisa's, but I don't really know where I'd want to rank those. Yai's, you said, just got changed. God, if I had to do like a quiz on identify whose is each. Oh, this is Thunder Manifestation. I recognize this. Get your rear up here. Thunder Manifestation is definitely, I mean, it's card draw, right? You just do a reaction, you get card draw. Like, this is 100%. This is 100% S tier. And what else? There's Squeegees. Squeegees isn't all that worth it. Squeegees is like C tier, I think. It's not the end of the world if you don't get it. Oh, God. Really struggling to find any of them that are worth putting up there. I think this is Baiju's, which I would put Baiju's as a good B tier. It's a bit expensive, but it's good. Here's Kaya's. Nobody runs Kaya, but it's a cool card, I guess. It's like low. Yay. Nobody runs Kaya. A D. Putting a D. Nobody runs Kaya. Risley's. This really does help, I think, with his damage and reduction, if I remember. Cost reduction. So I do think this is a pretty solid B. What else did we have here? Albedo's applies quick swap to his skill, I think. So I would put that as a solid B as well. Lisa's is probably a solid B. Because, well, if you're running Lisa, it's a B, because it does do that conductivity, which is really good. Mirror Maidens is low C now. The best part has already been applied to her by default. And I still can't find Wolf's. In all of this, I still cannot find where the Wolf is. Where his skill card is. I'm sure it's up here, and I'm just dumb. Don't answer that about me being dumb. I'm sure I already know. I can't tell where his is. Is this his? I think this might be Wolf's, actually. But I'm not sure off the top of my head, because the look of it is... They all look the same. Like, half the Geos look the same, short of, like, Chiori's and Noel's. And I guess Albedo's. Albedo's doesn't look the same. But I'm thinking that's Wolf's. Honestly, this is about all of them that I actually want to... Wolf is left side middle. So is it this one or this one? You know what? Why don't I just go look up the Wolf? That'd be the smarter choice, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's Wolf. Okay, so this one's Wolf. Or I'm looking at Wolf because I said two different things. Of course, Wolf isn't there. Wolf is G, right? Because it's like Gold Wolf Lord or something like that. Guardian's Oath, Guardian Vapops Away, Grounded, Grouchy. Golden Wolf Lord, there you go. Skill card is... Yeah, it is that one. Yeah. Okay, this I'm putting an A. This is a very, very good skill card. You kind of want it. Very useful. I think that's about all of them that I want to even mess with. It's going to take us like an hour to do these, and it's getting close to New Year's here. I want to, one, change my music, and two, here we get more Natlin music. We can look at ranking my own decks. So, The year we made 13 videos with a few decks. I think 13 videos, but like 16 decks or something, because this one had 4 in it. So let's rank them. Let's figure out where we want to put things. The 4 decks, right? We're gonna start with the 4 of them. There's a reason why they never made videos of their own, and that is, I just didn't like them. I don't like them. I didn't like the decks. I didn't think they were great. I think they were too mid. I'd put them as C. The only reason why I'm gonna put them as, I'm gonna actually change D, and I'm just gonna change it to outdated, because there are definitely Yunjin outdated. Jet bombs, where's the jet bombs? Outdated. These are just outdated right there. There's no reason to use them anymore. They're just completely outdated. But there are some that I really liked. 11:30 p.m. now. Yeah. We got 30 minutes until New Year's. So let's go through the rest. The freeze lock. This was the one that had Hydrolector. Oh, what was it? It was Hydro Herald, rather. Hydro Herald, Mirror Maiden. And I completely forgot who else was in this card. Hold on. You see nothing. Who else was in this? Give me a minute. Which one was this? This was Abyss Tax. What else was in this one? Oh, Charlotte. Derp. Yeah. Honestly, I think this was kind of an A one. I think this one was good. It's a bit tricky, but this one was probably A. Not necessarily my best, but A. I think this one here that I recently did, very, very solid results here. I think this was actually S. This might be one of my best aggro decks, because it is just very quick, very fast, very strong. The Dice Trap one, right? That used Ajdaha, and I honestly forget who else was in there too, because it was so long ago. It was Ajdaha, and I think I made 2 of them with this. Because there was Ajdaha, oh yeah, Ajdaha Baiju Thunder Manifestation, and then there was Ajdaha Mona Klee. And those were probably also, at this point, I would say C tier decks. Their 2 and 1 are usually C tier. I would also argue that Chev was probably C tier, but probably a little more consistent than those ones. The Fatui Health Tax, I think, was a bit undercooked, but if you read the Hoyo Lab post where I talk about alternative cards and stuff, I think it's a B tier. Coco Cube, beloved Coco Cube. This deck is still, I don't know about still, but it's good. I loved Coco Cube. I thought that deck was great for stall. It was really fun to work with. Some cards have definitely been nerfed. The Cube, Cryo Cube card, I think has been, no, was it the Cryo Cube? No, Seed Dispensary. This was back when Seed Dispensary made equipment that was 1 cost, 0. And so you could res Cryo Cube for free, and I actually just straight up did it and like ruined a dude's OTK combo. It was great. Melusine Mafia here. I would also say probably A rank. Dino, it's an Elu Bloom deck. I think it's probably B. Risley deck. Legitimately, my favorite deck that I've made this year, I think, because it turns out my Death and Taxes deck was actually at the end of last year around this time. So, whoops, not this year, or that would be up there. But this deck, I think, is, even with the nerfs to Underwater Treasure Hunt and the Underwater Treasure, still a very solid deck. Absolutely did amazing. Very frustrating to go up against if you play it correctly, because your opponent just can't do much. You just constant freeze, and then you just get run over by Risley. Like, he just drives the boat and just runs you over. So very good. Squeeno, I think Squeeno is a solid reverse sweep deck. So I think overall, this is kind of where our decks have ended up for the year. And it's been a heck of a year. Though we've gotten a lot of streams. We got a few decks here. We've gotten some random stuff as well. We've gotten some variety. And I know a lot of people don't show up for the variety and, you know, whatever. You're still going to get plenty of variety because this music is loud. That's the reason why you're getting the variety. This music's too loud. No, you're getting the variety, 1, because the TCG is kind of a sinking ship, and 2, because you go ahead and do the same thing for multiple years straight and tell me you don't get bored. So, yeah, you're going to get different stuff. Tomorrow, though, you're going to get, you're going to get more TCG. We're going to look at the new cards for a little bit, and then that'll be a thing. And then Thursday, because today is Tuesday, right? Hold on, let me check. It is Tuesday. Confirmed. Thursday, Woowa. Renacita 2.0 update. Really looking forward to that, guys. I hope you won't be busy so you can join up more often. I hope so too, Under Guy. I like seeing all of you guys here. I tried to do this stream to be close to the new year. I thought we'd actually go a little longer, and I bet we probably would have if I gave a crap enough to do these. But staring at these skill cards is daunting me. I really don't want to do that. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to get more TCG. Thursday, Woowa. We'll get some more Nikki, probably more Nikki and more Woowa probably sometime over the weekend. I don't know if I'm going to stream Friday because I kind of have stuff I need to do. And I want to also see if I can potentially also just spend time with Freya as well. So I see how her schedule and stuff is. So I want to make sure I at least take a day off this week as well, and that'll probably be Friday. But it's been a heck of a year. It's been a weird year. If we're talking, like, favorite things that have happened this year, you know, Woowa coming out was honestly really the big surprise, I think, for me. There's a lot of games that really surprised me this year. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, for those who were in the Twitch channel for that, were, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink really was just surprising. I loved that game. It kind of died, but I loved that game. I'd probably put that as maybe like my 3rd favorite game this year, and I didn't play a lot of games this year. My first favorite is probably, if I'm tier listing games here, Woowa is number 1. Honestly, oh boy, more Nikki. I hope you guys enjoy Nikki. I know from the viewership, if I look at how many people show up to the streams, I know a lot of people don't enjoy Nikki. I get it. Whatever. I don't care. I enjoy it. Because Nikki might be my 2nd favorite game this year. Woowa has taken the first. Wuthering Waves came out of nowhere, and if a student of mine didn't tell me about it, I wouldn't even have known about it. But Wuthering Waves is taking the cake for my favorite game this year. Then Nikki, then maybe Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and then Genshin is probably last and 4th. I really haven't played any other games than that, I think, this year. I don't think I've streamed other things. I don't think I've played other things. The only reason, like, Genshin's had a rough year, I think, this year. Ending Fontaine, moving into Natlin. Natlin was kind of rough. I'm hoping it will get better. I just think Natlin's just not a good... What they did with it was a bit of a miss, and I'm hoping they'll recover for it. The TCG kind of had some rough patches for me, but next year, right? It's going to be good. As long as it's not dressed to impress, oh god. Just don't say that when Freya's around, is all I'm going to say. You will invoke her desire to dress to impress. I don't know. I don't know why you guys... Okay, let me rephrase this. I know why you guys probably don't like Nikki. And if you don't like it, feel free to tell me. I mean, I'm not bothered. And it's because, you know, it's a cutesy dress-up game that probably is more fun to play than watch. Unless you're, like, good at keeping up a good banter. And let's be real, I'm not. Like, I know good and well I'm not, but you actually like Nikki, you need to show up for them. Nikki is really fun. I really like it. I like making outfits, even though Freya makes fun of me because of my color blindness and how I mess up outfits, and then, you know, I get yelled at on stream. But that aside, I like making that, and I think it's really fun. In fact, I need to like do my Nikki and Woowa dailies today. I've been so busy. Also, hopefully tomorrow, or God, I'm streaming again tomorrow. Hopefully very soon. I need to. God, it's got to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's TCG stream is short because I have to. It's gonna be shorter than usual because I have to finish editing this Woowa edit for the Carlotta trailer. It just came out a couple of days ago, and I recorded a reaction to it. I don't usually do that, but I figured why not? I wanted to analyze it. I did, but I gotta finish editing it and putting it together. I suck at doing recording and reactions. I know most people who do that stuff can just be like, woof, and then that stuff's out instantly. I can't do it. I can't. I have to, like, I don't know, because I don't show my face. There's not much reaction. Even if there was, you wouldn't see much anyways. But that stuff's going to be coming out hopefully tomorrow too. Nikki streams will probably be, like, maybe Saturday, Sunday. And then Woowa is going to be Thursday, and then maybe Saturday or Sunday. Whichever day Nikki isn't, Woowa probably will be, depending on how we do with, like, story quests and stuff like that. Because there's the main story, and then there's Carlotta's story quest as well, depending on when that comes out. And I want to be able to do both. Thursday, polling for Carlotta, and then Renacita things. But yeah, tomorrow will be more TCG. It'll be, again, probably a shorter one, because let's be real. Tomorrow's update doesn't have a lot of TCG. There's, like, what, a couple of cards? The biggest thing is going to be looking at Mualani and summons. Okay. Like, whatever. It's not going to be that big of an update, so I'm not too bothered by it being a slightly shorter stream. That way I have more time to edit, because I'm going to need it. And then we'll go from there. But thank you guys for being here. It is 20 minutes until the new year over here. Or, well, 19 minutes, I guess. So I am going to go and exist and do my dailies and things and have a good night. And you guys should as well enjoy the new year. For those who it is already new year, congrats, you're in the future. For those who it is not, we're getting there. Let us hope 2025 is an amazing year, and that all of the bad things of the previous year and years, if there were bad things, are a thing of the past. So take care, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow for more TCG. I need to make a thumbnail before I do anything else. Crap, forgot about that. Gonna do that now right after this. And then we'll be back tomorrow for TCG, Thursday for Woowa, and then the weekend for who knows what. So take care, and I'll see you then. Happy New Year's.